Osman Ghazi. Travel back 700 years to a fantasy Earth. The world is a gritty, dangerous place. The papacy is challenged by an anti-pope. The papal disbanded Templars recede into memory, and the Teutonic Order seems to be consuming magic, secularizing and growing in power. Two emperors battle within the Holy Roman Empire, and Hungary is at its height, but is being torn apart by a civil war. As they all fight amongst themselves, I expand rapidly and consume everything. The adventurers that call themselves the Champions of the Sun discovered that I am a vampire. Now they are trying to create a powerful weapon to destroy me. They will never succeed. While many have walked with these self-proclaimed champions, these are the present adventurers.
Only a city as grand, beautiful and powerful as Genoa could bear a man of my talent. Me? I am Naldo Renzi, treasure hunter, adventurer, master swordsman, and lover. In my journeys, I have learned of the adventures of the Champions of the Sun. They are just who I am looking for to assist me in the retrieval of the rare artifacts I seek, and heaven knows they could use my help in whatever they are up to.
I am Baldur, a Norseman, a soldier, and an eldritch knight. I left my home to leave politics behind, only to be dogged by it across Europe. I first met the Champions of the Sun outside a small town in Hungary. Together, we battled Ottoman raiders and vampires. The Champions gave me purpose again, and where it takes me, I know not, but I know I want to be a part of it.
I am Kip Caelan, Ranger of the North, and I am lost. Hailing all the way from Garin in Scotland, I have faced great tragedy, losing all those dear to me. I am haunted by that fateful night, and what was taken from me. I face defeat at every turn, attempting to enact revenge on those that did this to us. And when all my strength, resources, and allies, save for my trusted wolf Lycoa, was depleted, I stumbled upon the Champions of the Sun at the Battle of Sakut. I decided to ally myself with these seemingly capable and worthy adventurers to aid me in putting the lost to rest. It is what she would want, or so she seems to indicate.
I am Edric, and I am from England. I spent most of my youth in the Navy. Climbing the ranks, I was granted land and title. However, I did not fit in. A heretic to most. I fled, leaving my wife and children behind. In a city on mines, I met a group that changed my life forever. The Champions of the Sun. In time, perhaps they might help me reunite with my family.
I am Kroof. Abandoned by my mother, I was raised by wood elves. Shunned by other elves, I left the village. As I did, I can hear the voice of a mage I once met.
In filth and bowels of the earth, where gold is aplenty, you will find those that can reunite you with your family.
Discovering this party in the filthy sewers under Paris begs the question, are these the ones?
In these dark times, the dead rise and strike fear and feed on the living. I am Baron Andre Franz Hellwing II. I am dedicated to unlocking the forbidden secrets of life and death. Through science and God, I strive to make the dead stay dead. Many fear what they do not understand. The raw materials of the flesh.
I am Matthias, of the House of Bathory, Knight Baron of Carpathia. With my traveling companion, Ambria, I was dragged into a whirlwind path by a rogue monk. But those I have met since then have earned my respect. And, more importantly, my trust.
If you meet one who claims to be a champion of the sun, tell me their whereabouts. Better yet, kill them on sight. I will reward you handsomely. Welcome to 7SD Carpathian Adventure.
Welcome, I'm Tom. Thank you for joining us. We're a group of gamers who get together in real life to play Dungeons and Dragons. Some of us are military, others are in construction, still others are retail managers, a few in our IT. We're parents, students, etc. So we do this strictly for fun. We hope you enjoy it nonetheless. There were quite a few thank yous in our open, except one, you. We'd like to thank you, our Twitch, Facebook, Kick, Twitter X followers, and our YouTube subscribers. Thank you for joining us. If you have not already, please follow on Twitch and Kick. Please like on YouTube and Facebook, and please subscribe on YouTube. If during the stream you do follow on Twitch, or if you subscribe on YouTube, your username will pop up on the screen. To all of our subscribers and followers, thank you. Let's jump right in. Welcome back, champions of the sun. I wish you good times, great rolls, and happy adventuring. The question, of course, is what happened last session?
We didn't die. Came close. Balder turned around as we were all gathered in a pile because we had been knocked unconscious in the battle. We all had fleeting glimpses of death as we were piled into a nice display at Ghazi's feet from Balder and Kroof when they returned. Balder made the deal to give up the amulet to save our lives. Did a little talking.
That fool.
And then Naldo, I decided to go to the burning cart and retrieve what was in it, much to the disfigurement of my hand. But we found a shard of what we believe to be the cross and a pretty nice sword that were in there. What else?
Healed up some wounds, gathered our thoughts, decided.
I was healed, like grabbed something, was like dead again, and then got healed again.
Yeah. Decided we were going to regroup, continue the fight, continue the effort.
And
the fruitless effort.
Yeah, kept trying to burn us all down.
Yeah. And we decided that we were going to continue the fight, and that we realized that we needed more dragon scales, right, in order to power the
staff,
the lance.
Yep.
Right. So we decided that we were going to head in the direction of being able to replenish those in areas that we're aware of. Right.
Yeah, we think the closest is in Avignon with the new pope, perhaps.
Yep. So Avignon, and then we were also wanted to eventually head to the north, to Scotland. But we know that we need to at least hit Avignon first.
Yep.
And then probably, I mean, we haven't gone much further than that.
No.
But that's what we need to kind of sort out.
I think that was about it.
Yeah.
Okay, the party is.
I was like, I don't remember that at all. Any of that.
I do remember that there was some question, and I read, thank you very much for the adventure logs. I think literally everybody here did one, so I greatly appreciate it.
But just a bunch of copycats.
It left me with. It still left me with questions.
There's always questions.
And,
I have
and
more
then-
questions than before they wrote anything.
And then there was different opinions on where you were going. So, and I'm like, let's see what they do. And scrambling to try and come up with plans for both. You rested. You took a short rest. It was an unsecure area. You know that there was no way to get a long rest in there. And then in the morning, you set out north. After pillaging as much as you could, you have Balder's cart. You have another cart as well that you, mostly cooking apparatus and utensils, some equipment, military equipment, but not much. Perhaps a few Ottoman uniforms stacked in the back of that wagon, if those were ever to come of use, I don't know. But it was a supply wagon for those troops. You continued and trundled north, and you knew that it was about a good solid 8 hours back to Paris. And in continuing on, you see the outskirts of Paris up ahead. You see the white towers of the palace on the Ile de Cité. You're approaching it from the south and from the western side of the Seine, and perhaps the eastern side of the Seine. Approaching it, and you know there are two bridges over onto the Ile de Cité, and on one side it's a relatively poorer area, not dirt poor necessarily, but definitely poorer area. And then where are you going? What are you doing? Are you going into the city, or are you staying on the outskirts, or what's your plan?
Do we want to rest before we
Maybe we should
head back out?
rest and restock, even if it's just briefly,
Yeah.
right? Just to maybe get a little bit more rest and restock whatever supplies we may need, if anybody needs to get anything.
I mean, I know you were really savoring the blood during the fight, and it looks great on you and everything.
Yeah, you probably.
But you know, you might need to sleep a little and commune with God to,
Perhaps.
restock your
Yeah.
mojo.
Yeah, I mean, I
And then head out.
yeah, and then head out.
Yeah, and then head south.
Tom, do we have is the map at the table by any chance?
It hasn't been updated
Oh, that's fine.
since before your battle with Ghazi, but yes,
I think it's perfectly fine. Okay. Perhaps we should just rest, and then we shall review the map and decide where to head to next. We could stay in the outskirts of the city, or we can head into the city.
Let's stay someplace a little nicer. We do have a little bit of money.
Okay.
Guess we'll head toward a tavern in the more or tavern/inn in the more luxurious part of town.
Well, you head back in. Now, you've been in Paris. You've been here before. You spent quite a bit of time here from arriving and seeing Galela's headquarters implode to fighting in the sewers underneath Paris itself. So you're familiar with it. You know that there was the tavern that you did stay at with
I don't know if I
Genevieve,
want to see Jenny
Isn't your girlfriend
tonight. Yeah.
But there are obviously other taverns in town. And you go looking for one?
Sure. Something high class all my compatriots will fit in at.
High class.
Sure. You
He's
find,
covered in blood. I'm English.
you do find you meander around for a bit, and you see a large wooden sign carved like an owl. And you think you had passed this once before, and I don't think you stayed in it per se, but you guys had passed it once before.
What do you think about this one?
I don't
You
understand
like
why-
Alice. You like things from the woods. You'll like this place.
Yeah, but I don't understand why we don't go back to the place that we stayed in before.
Because we have some money now, and we can
Well, yeah, but
stay someplace nicer.
the bartender really liked you.
I know, but
We got some free food on the side.
yeah, but
Maybe we could get some free room and board.
no,
No, he'll get free room and board.
no. I mean, the food there's not that great.
Okay, huh? Yeah, it's got an owl.
I know exactly. I mean, usually like you eat like dead squirrels and things, so like the food there like was probably pretty good as far as you know. But
It was pretty good.
no, it wasn't.
I didn't see anything wrong with it.
This food will be better.
Okay,
All right.
I'll take your word for it. Yeah.
I cook for myself.
I don't think the dog is allowed inside. There's a little sign on the window.
It's a good thing he's not a dog. Come on, Leko.
Oh,
I think it's best for us to keep a low profile. Best
The
to
wolf
stay
walks
here, where we have not been before.
on his hind legs.
Excuse me, sir. Do you have a corner I can use?
Okay, you guys go into the tavern, amidst the cobbled streets, you find a facade. It's an intricately carved wooden panels on the outside of it, depicting scenes of owls flying above serpents. Hanging from the entrance is a weathered and chipped wooden sign painted with a rather majestic-looking owl on it, its eyes wayward watching. A lantern, albeit daylight, flickers on either side of it. You guys go inside, and it seems to be a fairly comfortable looking place inside. It's not like a posh place like you were in Amsterdam. Well, you weren't there in Amsterdam, but that the rest of the party was in Amsterdam. Yeah.
Who's that knife?
Oh wait, I'm sorry.
I mean, I wasn't there either, so.
Huh?
I wasn't there either.
Right in the brain.
We were in a posh inn while he was getting his brains eaten out.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. It's always fun.
That's a good dinner. I mean, for us.
The pork was excellent.
You were showing everybody your bow. You're like,
Yeah, no, my buddy gave this to me. Wonder what Simon's getting.
shall we get to table?
Yes, let's go have a table by the
Aye.
fire.
And you're entering, you're greeted. It's a rather cozy embrace of a crackling fireplace, even in this warm weather. It's comfortable in here, cuts through the dampness. The interior is adorned with tattered tapestries depicting owls and serpents. There's a scent of hearty stew and freshly baked bread wafting through the air. Rustic tables and chairs scattered throughout the tavern. There's a little bit of a lively atmosphere, even for this relatively early afternoon time of day. There's some chatter and swapping tales and striking deals over tankards. You see a woman, and she says, "Oh, have a seat, have a seat."
All right, I go sit down.
Yeah,
Okay.
go sit over by somewhere near the fire.
Yeah.
We go up to the table and sit down. I'm gonna take our map that we have. I'm gonna just kind of open it up on the table for everyone to see, and kind of gather around it. Try to get everybody's attention to just kind of gather around our map and try to figure out what we're doing, where we're gonna go next.
Well, I mean, we're closest to Avon.
Yes, and to get to Avignon is we would pass by Lyon.
Yeah, and then we're just around the corner from Genoa. Yeah, we could stop by.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys told me all about Nicholas, the real Pope. You met him how many years ago?
Wait, there 2?
Oh, how many years ago? 2, maybe a year? I don't think I was there.
Oh, actually,
Maybe
neither
a
of
year
you
ago.
guys were there.
I think it was about a year ago.
If you want to put that out there in the middle where they can see it, that's
Oh, sure.
we can make room for everybody.
Yeah.
It's up to you.
Mark, can you help me? Yeah, there we go.
And I mean, the rumors about everyone talks. This Pope is very, very strange. He can't even go to the Holy City. And it seems Ghazi wanted to make some kind of deal with him. Maybe he's perhaps he is also a vampire. Or in league with him somehow.
This is an interesting theory. Was there a reason for us to stop in Lyon? Or was that just on the way?
I think that's just on the way.
I think it was just on the way. I mean, we. What is our mission next then? Is it to get another gem, or to stop or meet this
Well, from what
fake pope?
Well, from what we heard, the Pope might have to go through him to get the.
You think he has a gem?
I believe that's what the rumor is that we heard.
Yes, I believe so.
Wasn't it one of your friends, like Jomnis's sister or something, that's works for the Pope, false Pope or something?
Is that Louvier?
Louvier would have been Louvier's sister was in France.
Oh, was in France.
It is
Who's worked
Louvier's
for
sister.
the fake pope? I don't remember that. I don't know.
I don't know. There's been so
I don't
many
remember who worked for a
champions.
fake
It's
pope.
hard. It's
I
hard
just
to
have
keep track.
false pope is in Avignon. My notes are so bad. Buried with the Templar is Scotland. I've got crystals. The Teutons have the crystals. Iceland has crystals. And then I have Scotland has crystals. Sardinia has the zombies. Those are my notes.
Scotland.
Okay.
So I'm listening to all this and I'm like, so you guys have no idea what you're doing. Like zero. What is your?
Do
you wanted
you?
to kill the red dragon.
What do you
There
have?
was no such thing as a red dragon.
You wanted to kill the red dragon. That was your. That was your.
That's
Two
it.
for-
That's
two
it.
for one.
A
What
very
is the?
small
What is the?
detail.
But what's the new goal?
To defeat Ghazi.
That's the only goal.
To defeat Ghazi.
Yeah, that's
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 the
what.
new goal.
Yeah.
Do you know where Ghazi? How do you find Ghazi?
I mean, I think he went all the way back to.
We believe he goes back to his through the portal. He transports back to his.
Do we know where that is?
Well, yeah, it's
That's in Carpathia, right?
yeah,
not just
Constantinople. It's
Istanbul.
yeah. I can't remember the name of it. Where's that? Yeah,
Because that was.
So probably over there somewhere.
yeah, it's the furthest.
Keep going. Pull.
Oh, no, that's it. Isn't it right there?
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Ah.
Yeah.
It's so big.
Sagut, isn't it Sagut?
Is that his resting place, is Sigurd?
Well, I mean, there's a picture of him right there on the map.
Yeah,
Well, that's yeah.
right there. Yeah. What is
Oh,
that?
Teleport. It says teleport.
Yeah. Where is that?
That's Sigurd.
Sagut. Yeah, that's where Ghazi is.
Do you have the other end of the teleport map somewhere? Marked on the map somewhere?
So,
So that's
so if we
Where we teleported.
if we get another gem, or another 2 gems or 5 gems, and we go to Sagut, we're gonna find Ghazi.
Yeah, fight him.
Yes.
Shoot
That
him
is
like
his-
we
that
shot
is
the
his
demon.
palace. Is in
I think we
Sagut.
need at least 2. I
So-
mean, you
We
see,
all
very
must-
tough.
What would prevent
Avignon
Ghazi from
and
teleporting
where
out?
else?
We must collect. We must collect charges for the
Yeah.
lance
Okay.
to be able to use it again. We know how it works.
Because
We
it's
know how
Constantinople
powerful
right
it
there.
is.
Too.
We must collect charges to do so.
I couldn't see it.
Where do you get the charges?
But that's
them right
is
across
the
the
discussion.
street.
That's why we want to go to Avignon. to
The
see
dragon
the false
crystals, the
pope.
dragon tears, or whatever they
So we
shed.
Avignon,
Yeah.
Scotland,
Scotland.
and where else?
The Teutons
The Teutons.
would have it in. I don't remember where that.
They're
was.
kind of like
They're up here.
Yeah.
Western
right?
Germany.
Yeah.
So we don't have
And
to
then
do
there's
this.
also one in Iceland.
Yeah,
Iceland
real
and
far.
Scotland.
Can I make a suggestion?
Iceland.
So you don't have to keep on
Well-
doing this every time. Here, we'll just put stickies going forward, and then you can roll it up. It'll stay there.
D8s are crystals.
No, but I'm saying to you is once you roll this up, you're gonna pick up your dice.
I don't think we need to
No problem.
do that. I think
Just a
we're good.
suggestion.
It seemed like it was sticking together that paper anyway.
Yeah. So because we could get the crystals.
Yeah.
And then we can... I think we still have a teleport ability to get back to Constantinople from the Lady Irene.
Wait, we can teleport?
We have one teleport.
You keep lots of secrets
So,
about
know
all
none of
sorts of
this.
stuff.
and again, I know I'm new to all of this.
I mean, I think...
I'm
Marius
impressed that you remembered that.
Yes, I do remember it. The question is, who has it?
Who has
Well, it was Maddie.
I thought it was Marius, okay, but part of me was like, Jumlius took that.
No.
No, I think Maddie.
I think Marius has it, so... but we can get here pretty quickly.
But my question is, so again, I know I'm new to all of this Ghazi killing stuff. You get to where Ghazi is. What prevents him from teleporting to somewhere else?
That is...
We shoot him first.
No, that is where his resting place is, and that is where all of his
Exactly.
power and his
Can't-
strength comes from.
Exactly.
He cannot...
So we're gonna
he
fight him
can,
and he's
he can
strong.
venture away from that, but he will always have to return.
So, but if we kill him there, he's done.
And that's where his power is, and you can know. That is when you can kill him. Where you can kill him.
We must
So-
bring the fight to him.
Aye.
You're thinking about things all wrong when you think we should know like what we are doing. Like you just kind of do it as it happens.
You've been doing this for how long?
Well, you see, the
Yes.
goal has always been for Ghazi.
Okay.
Always. The dragon was by means of saying we need to eliminate him because him and and Ghazi were too formidable for us.
So my question: if Ghazi wiped the floor with us,
Hey,
somebody ran.
whoa!
No, he literally
whoa,
wiped the
whoa.
floor with us. We were literally rolling along the floor.
It was very
So-
close, so close.
Yes, very close. I understand.
He had to offer a deal to get away.
It was you were
he
yes. It
offered
was,
a deal to leave.
but let's say
I
if
mean,
he
that's
wiped the
that's
floor.
like a tie.
But if he wiped the floor with us in the middle of nowhere, if we go back to where all his power is,
This is France. We were like right outside Paris. It's not nowhere.
but we were not in his domain.
I mean, I didn't see a
That's
town
true.
or a city or anything for about 3 months. before I
So
found you
if
guys.
we go into his domain, wouldn't he be even more powerful?
Aye.
Yes, which is why we need more like
And does
like
anybody
probably
know,
at least 2 crystals, maybe 3.
can anybody tell us what the amulet does?
Lets him like go out in the daylight, right? Daylight,
I
we
believe
think
that
is
is part
one.
of it. Yes.
Maybe he can control other vampires with it. Maybe he can control us with it. I'm not really
like a
sure.
problem.
I believe it lets
Balder
him travel.
knows, and
I believe
he has
it
disappeared.
lets him travel in that daylight. And some of the typical vampire
And how long you guys been chasing him?
hunting ways are ineffective.
Myself, I've only like the last like year and a half, but you know, they've been trying for like 7 years. 8 years, something like that.
The idea is
Like
that
I said, you just take it as it comes. Like plans are for fools; they never
it
work
is
out
different
anyway.
when you take the initiative to the enemy. If we go to him, we set the tone of when we attack and where we attack. We have just been caught off guard. We were not expecting to see Ghazi at all. We were not prepared. We were not ready.
This is also true.
We were expecting to fight a dragon that we were unsure of how we were going to do so. But
And that
we knew
part-
it was a
that
demon,
part?
and we were prepared for that.
We did really good at that part. I mean, come on! He
We did.
exploded it into little
Yeah.
bits.
But we
It's
were
fantastic.
unprepared for Ghazi. So this time we are going to build our strength. We will have more crystals that we need, and we will take the fight directly to Ghazi. And now we have a piece of the Holy Cross.
And
That
you
is
never know
a
what else
valuable
we
weapon
might
to
find
us.
along the way.
We shall be more powerful. We shall be prepared. I believe the amulet in some way binds Ghazi to the devil that we saw, the demon that we were told of through, I guess.
But now he's
Identified.
free and he has all the power of the
I
unknown.
believe it binded him to, and he had spoken about being free now. We must begin to understand, what is he free from? Who was
Only
he a
being able
servant
to move around at the night. He was bound to the demon
That we killed?
that we killed
So now he is no longer bound.
or banished or whatever happened there.
This may make him weaker, or may make him more formidable.
Going the way things usually go, I would say probably more formidable.
Perhaps. And we have also fulfilled our obligation to the Black Dragon.
Well, that's good, because he was very large and scary.
Yes.
And very mad about his house.
Yes.
Oh yes, I should probably let him know that the red dragon has been defeated.
Perhaps we should do that. How were you gonna? Oh, you had a.
I have a rock. Yeah.
Okay.
Like, all you have are stones in your pockets.
Yeah. It's like he just got back from the beach. He's emptying his pocket. Just like,
This one?
I cannot say that Kip does not have the stones.
I should have remembered the stones.
So, if we need supplies, we should pick them up here, and we should head to Avignon in the morning.
How far is Avignon?
It's probably like 3 or 4 days south-ish.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, then what?
We'll meet with the false pope and figure out a way to get the crystals that he may have, and any other artifacts or information he may be able to provide. I have not yet met this false pope.
Neither have I. I'm very excited.
I am equally excited.
Should be interesting.
Maybe we should try to learn a little bit more about him on our way there.
Yes.
Ask.
Perhaps,
Listen for rumors and
perhaps
such.
we could ask. What was the guy's name that gave us the rug?
Pierre Rodri. Rodri? Was that Pierre? No. Jean.
Jean de Legendre.
Jean. Perhaps we can speak with Jean for information on the false pope.
We are in the neighborhood. We might as well.
Perhaps he can make arrangements as us to travel there as delegation.
Oh, he does have contacts. Yeah.
Perhaps he can make it possible for us to speak directly to the false pope.
This is good.
You know, if you want to do that, might I stop by a library? Maybe we can do a little research on the amulet. We've tried before, but didn't prove very useful. But maybe we could do a little more research here in Carpathian.
This is good.
The best libraries are in the church.
Okay.
Yes.
That's usually
Okay. That's great.
usually the way it goes. They keep all the books for themselves.
All right. So yes, let's go. Let's do it. Let's go speak to.
What time of day is it, Tom? Would you say?
It is probably late afternoon. I mean, you left the area where the battle was, which was about you've guesstimated about an hour and a half because you were with Balder, or you ran into Balder coming north from Dijon. About an hour and a half north of Dijon, about a solid eight plus hours ride, maybe a little bit slower with 2 wagons. So it's probably, late afternoon, early evening.
Okay. All right.
So
we go to the cathedral.
Yeah,
church.
We can go to the library. We could speak to Jean. We could gather supplies, and then we can head out to South Avignon to talk to the false pope. Find out what's going on there.
I mean, don't say that to him.
What is his name?
Because he says he's the pope. He's not like I'm the false pope.
No, I got false pope.
He might
right
get
now.
a little offended.
Well, we'll speak with Jean. Okay.
And then
We'll speak with him first. I think we should.
He's much smarter than we are.
And then we go north.
Foreign affairs, for sure.
Let's bring his carpet back.
Where are my languages?
And then we go north.
After Avignon, we will head to.
And how far from Avignon can we get the ship?
Well, we're gonna head to.
We can go to Genoa. Genoa's right around the corner.
Genoa, we get the ship.
I know.
If we go south, we get to Marseille.
I know we
And
can
they
get
probably
to
have a ship.
fabulous boat.
He needs to go to Genoa.
Okay.
We don't need to. I mean, I'd feel sorry for you if you never got to see it.
we can go to Genoa. And
It's
then
like the
he
most
knows-
beautiful
but he
city
has
ever.
contacts in order to get us perhaps a ship to sail us, and then we shall go on an epic sea voyage.
Yeah.
No. Oh, you're not. I spent much time on the sea vessels.
How else are we going to get to Scotland? You can't walk there.
Maybe we've made things even with the Black Dragon.
Yeah, well, then there's also
Maybe
Iceland.
we give him a little gold, he gives us a little flappy flappy.
You could do the A-Team movie with Brockets when they used to do that back in the day.
Put him to sleep.
Okay.
All right.
We visit Jean Jean
That's that.
this evening.
Sure.
Okay.
We will see if he is there. He may have left for the day. It is getting kind of late. He may take an early supper, but let's go and find out.
Okay.
If not, we'll go to the church.
Just thinking if we should speak to Jean Jean first, so that we maybe have a little bit more information on what to look up at the church.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Okay.
Sounds good.
So you head to the palace?
The palace.
Okay. You guys head toward the
Blow up
palace.
the map and throw it in the fire. No. Cover our tracks. Keep them guessing.
Where was that again? You burned us. Don't let me burn it.
We do not need plans.
Tom, do you DM question? Maybe you remember, but Kip would know. The Italian sailor Marco, was it?
Polo?
No, it wasn't Polo. I don't remember his name. It's okay if you don't. But he,
Yeah.
none of you were here character-wise. But
No, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I remember what you're talking about.
yeah, we used him a lot to travel around.
How did you remember that?
I have
Just
him
get us a
somewhere in
boat
here.
and you can tell us what to do. That's what I
It's okay.
figured.
It's okay. I'm sure his name is in here somewhere.
Yes. You're trying to remember his name.
Yes.
Of course I know his name, but I don't remember it off the top.
Right.
Yeah.
It's okay, because he would be somebody that maybe if we needed to, we could reach out to and try to have him meet us.
Yeah. I don't know how
We just need a boat.
It was an Italian. He was an Italian.
Yeah, I think we had like
Why do you say it like that with your hand? I find
we
that
had
very
like a
offensive,
guy.
Kip.
We're like we had
It
a
was
guy
meant
that
Very
had a
offensive.
boat
Very
and
offensive.
that we
What's offensive
Done
is
this
me
before,
trying to do
so
a
as far as,
Scottish
like-
accent. I apologize to all the
or
Scots
just
in the world.
instead of going through all the hassle of trying to find something new and pay for it. Right? We were even good. We even settled up good with money with him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
that's what I'm
was
saying. I think
definitely an
we're-
advocate.
Yeah.
We paid him well, and I even
probably retired.
vaguely remember even he told us he was gonna sail to go meet the
Tom,
army.
is the bar pretty packed, or is it?
The Dread Parrot Roberts. It's a different
Mensa
guy.
Mensa.
Okay.
And you don't, with
now I know
regards
what I'm
to
gonna
what
end up
you
doing.
sent me a note about, you don't recall ever seeing one. But
If there's anybody in a bar that looks like they may have something like that I believe that they might have, I'll try to sleight of hand and try to pickpocket them.
sure. Hold that thought. Let me just try and find this
Okay.
name here first of all. If I can find it, if I can figure out how to work this. There we are.
So, Avignon, Scotland, then Iceland.
Yeah.
Look at that. I guessed it on the first try.
I mean, chances are we might
that
find
sarcasm, or
other
you would've-
things that could assist
I know,
us
I
if we
did.
went to
I
the
thought it was-
Teutons, because they're trying to destroy
But we
magical
have to
and
go
holy relics.
around that way though, because we can go.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying.
yeah. I think that's the plan: is to go around
So
and
if
come
we, go,
south.
if we go down to the Med,
I
sail
did
up
hire
around, we
hire
could
you
hit
all to
Iceland
go
first,
to the Teutons.
then hit
not
Scotland.
All this other stuff first.
Then we could go from Scotland over into Scandinavia, and then we could travel
Sure.
to the Teutons.
You could stop back in Amsterdam, talk to a
back to
dragon.
Amsterdam.
Let's get some dragon help.
That's true. Although, I would prefer to go to England than Iceland.
Kip knows like 3 other
Oh, yeah,
dragons.
well, we're
he has
stopping.
stones to call them. So.
Well,
We're
right,
pretty
Baron,
flush
you
with
don't
dragons.
know.
Just a couple. I did not mean the, I did not mean the white one, otherwise we would have had words.
I'll get them out.
Okay, so Kip, you do remember his name was Flavio. Flavio Joya.
I remember that name.
Flavio Joya. He helped you get from to, I think originally to, no.
No, he took us back to Venice.
He took
He
us back
took
to
you
Venice.
back to Venice from somewhere in the Mediterranean.
Yes.
And he also helped you decipher a compass that you found. It was kind of a compass. He said to you, it was a large kind of mechanical device. Somebody has the card for it. I don't know who. I thought it was you.
No.
Oh, it might have been Jonas. Okay.
That was right when,
like
right
an
when we lost
astrolabe?
Jonas. When we got to
Right
Venice.
about, yeah.
That's when he left.
Okay. And okay, that's where it is. And
We'll find out about that.
It's in a
I'll
canal
talk
in
to him.
Venice.
Yeah, it's in the bottom of it.
Bottom of the canal. That's where we fought the water pussies. It was on his ship.
Yeah.
Yes, that was
Yep.
So that was that. With regards to Kroof here, 1 second, Kroof. You guys are making me rack my brain, go back through some old stuff.
I
here.
can't believe you remembered that, but
I
like,
didn't remember it. I have the
Fabio.
document.
No, but
here
like
from-
he even
Dude, I have it written down the date that I actually killed somebody for the first time.
yeah.
7/12. It's been a year, or it's been right around that time.
Wow. Oh, it's been a year.
I didn't write the year though.
Yeah. That was pre-COVID. So that puts us at least 5 years.
Okay,
probably.
look at that. I found my.
Okay.
Okay, so you're looking around the room at this point, Kroof. You're looking around inside the tavern and glancing around. Roll me an investigation check. Tell me what you roll. A 14. You glance around. You do not see anything at this moment that looks like the object that you were looking for, nor do you see any pockets worth trying to pick as of yet. You might see some, but they might, in your mind, you go, if I go after that one's too risky, if that makes sense.
Sounds good. Yes, it does.
Okay. Some good RP there, guys. One for each of you there, guys. Cool stuff. So right now you are heading back out into the streets, is my understanding? Yes? No?
Yes.
Yes.
Head to the palace.
Jean-Jean.
Okay, you're heading to the palace and to see Jean-Jean, which is Jean de Cherchemont, if I remember correctly. And the guards remember you, escort you through, and you make your way up to the office where Jean de Cherchemont was, and there he is.
Oh, you're back. I told you the army was on its way. It is heading southeast, literally as we speak. I mean, moving 10,000 men is not quick. No. It's going to take time, but they're on their way.
We had run into the delegation with the demon on the road, and we had an unexpected visitor. Ghazi showed up at the battle as we ran into him on the road. Which I do want to remind you that your road worked remarkably.
I knew that it would.
Worked. It was essential in us defeating the demon.
And you did.
We slain the demon. However, Ghazi was just too powerful for us.
Marvelous! I knew that it would work!
I never doubted it. For a moment, it
honest,
worked wonderfully.
I doubted it.
Is it okay that we continue to use it? It will be vital for us in our upcoming.
Yes, absolutely. Good luck with it.
Thank you. We are very appreciative. We used our only charge for the Haile Galanza, and we are in search of more crystals in order to power it. And we seem to be heading to Avignon, and we had some questions about the Pope. We hope that maybe you could give us some assistance in perhaps arranging a meeting with us and the Pope.
Well, we can certainly write you a letter of introduction if that's what you want.
If it would help.
Just to meet with him. To meet with the Pope in Avignon.
Yes, unless there's...
I think that's it. I mean...
Something that will get us a
How long are you in town for?
It's rumored that he may have one of these crystals that we seek.
Are you familiar at all with the crystals that we speak of?
I've heard of yes, I've heard of something of dragon crystals, crystals that supposedly have a lot of power. Yes, I have heard of them. And you used it to do what exactly?
We used it to slay the demon.
How?
We used it under Haile Galanza, and it powered a great. I mean,
it was a blast. A blast emitted from the
energy of power that just struck the demon and just destroyed him. And we hope to use this against Ghazi. However, he is more formidable. We believe we need more charges in order to attempt the same type of attack on Ghazi.
So the question is, of course, where are more?
Yes.
I mean, so what is it the Pope might be a very, very good place to look for one. I mean, he has a lot of wealth. These crystals, they're called dragon crystals because supposedly dragons were more ubiquitous on the planet a long time ago. 9,000, 10,000 years ago, something like that. And then something fell from the sky. And when it fell from the sky, many of the dragons were obliterated. With what fell from the sky were these rocks, and supposedly they were very powerful. And that's what those crystals are. Although they call them dragon crystals, and they're associated with, because the dragons have crystals as well, but they're something that came from the sky a long time ago, a very, very, very long time ago. If that makes sense.
Yes, of course.
Very interesting.
Have you heard of a place with the concentration range?
What's that?
I thought they were shed.
Dragons do shed diamonds as well, yes.
I thought the dragon crystals were the
That's what
shed.
I thought. But I think we were wrong.
We were wrong.
Well, they're associated with the dragons. I mean, they wiped out many of the dragons. These things, whatever fell. I mean, this is my recollection.
Didn't the
Where
black
did
dragon
it
have...
fall?
Where did they fall?
Yeah, was it one particular place or was it all over the place?
I think it was all over the place, but I think mostly out in eastern Anatolia.
In eastern where?
Anatolia.
Where's eastern Anatolia?
That's where we got it.
I don't know where it is.
Is there an eastern Anatolia on the map?
Oh, eastern Anatolia. I mean, you have to go all the way down past Constantinople, out toward the east, cross over the Black Sea, the Bosphorus, out toward, as if you were heading toward the Holy Land.
That's far.
I mean, that's where, supposedly they fell. And there was once a great civilization there that was completely buried, supposedly.
It is reasonable that the Pope may have obtained something like that during one of the holy wars.
Well, it is that region is on its way to and from the Holy Land where the Crusaders would have crossed.
Is there a way to get to this place?
To get to Eastern Anatolia? I mean, you can take a boat and then walk, I guess. I mean...
I do not believe we will have to actually go there. I believe that is part of the...
I think we can find some, right?
But instead of going searching from unknown to unknown, if there's a place that has a high concentration possibility, wouldn't it be better to go there?
Do not believe it would be something that would just be laying about. I think at this point, the idea is that somebody would have collected them.
I would be very surprised if you just... I mean, I'd be very kudos to you. I mean, but I'd be very surprised if they were just laying
So I think they
about.
have been collected, and the Pope, with all the holy wars, the Pope would be someone who would collect such a thing. The Teutons would be others because they would have traveled to the Holy Land as part of their
Also,
crusades.
when these stones fell from the sky, or when whatever it was that fell from the sky and broke up in these stones, it didn't just like rain like little dewdrops on the ground. I mean, it was like pummeling the ground, if you will. So, I mean,
I think our time is better served going after the ones that we know where they are instead of...
It was a thought.
No.
Yeah. No, I don't disagree.
Why
but-
would the Pope give it to us? Does the Pope want Ghazi dead?
Have you heard any of the rumors about this Pope? We've heard some strange things about him.
well, I mean, the fact that he's in Avignon, I mean, that's kind of strange in and of itself, that he refuses to
Shouldn't
give
he
it
be
to-
in the Holy See?
Well, should is you know, who am I to
He is not permitted in the Holy City, correct?
Well, I mean, that's just a rumor. I mean, why? Why would somebody not be permitted in the Holy City?
Sometimes there is a sliver of truth within the rumors.
No, perhaps. But he's in Avignon. I mean, and there is another supposed Pope wandering around out in Germany somewhere. He was Ludwig, King Ludwig of Bavaria had sponsored him to be the Pope and set him up as a false Pope. And rumor has it that he's an evil ogre of a man, a terrible person. I mean, just absolutely heinous in every way, shape, or form. Ludwig's Pope.
Interesting.
Yes. I mean, that's what's being circulated.
That's the one we met.
Is that the false Pope or the real Pope?
Well, they both think the other is the false Pope.
The other one's the false Pope.
Oh, well, of course they both think the other is the false Pope. I mean,
how many popes? Like, is that false Pope 1 or false Pope?
Well, there's two popes, but one is not the real pope. There's
The
only
one we
one
met
pope.
was actually, and this is obviously not the Baron, but the one that we met, right, in Bavaria was actually a pretty good dude, from what I remember.
Yeah. He was
So
Yeah.
good dude.
Yeah.
And this is why my notes are so
And
bad.
so he was actually, from what I remember, correct me if I'm wrong,
So-
Tom, he helped us.
What is the name of the
Yeah,
Pope
like,
in Avignon?
yeah,
It's Pope.
Yeah, I don't remember the
What
name
is
of the Pope. in
so
Avignon.
we ask? Jean-Jean.
Holiness.
Yeah, Jean-Jean.
What is the Pope's name in Avignon?
His holy pontiff.
Holy Pontiff.
His name before he was
his
Pontiff.
name.
Pontificus.
His birth name.
His birth name.
His Christian name.
You're asking me things. Let me see here.
Okay, he doesn't remember either. I feel so much bad.
Wait a minute.
John Paul Jones.
That's not for a couple hundred years.
It will come to me, I promise you.
Oh, that's well.
Tom, while you're at it, give me the innkeeper back in Hamburg when we were.
Back in Hamburg. You were never in Hamburg.
I mean, I still think maybe Avignon is worth a look, eh?
Yes, definitely. It has been a destination for some time, right?
I've heard you they'd mentioned.
Yes.
before.
Yes.
There's at least
Why
enough.
would he give you a crystal?
But in
Well, we have to figure that
Because
part
we'll
out.
ask
That's
nicely.
yeah.
With the
That's
point-
part
with
we
the
have to
pointy
figure it out.
ends.
With the pointy end?
Yeah.
The innkeeper of Inigal was Hans.
If we have to, we have to.
I do have that.
I have a feeling perhaps this Pope isn't all he claims to be. Do not let him know that. He seems to like this Pope a lot.
It would make sense. We are in France.
Yeah.
We would want.
Yeah. Local support and all.
Yes.
Do you, Jean Chen?
Jean de Cherchemont. Yeah.
Jean Chen.
Jean Szechuan.
Do you, chicken. Since you are aware of all this Ghazi plight, would you have any sway with the Pope about giving us a crystal if he has one? Can you come with?
No, I can't come with you. I'm the Vice Chancellor of France.
But isn't killing Ghazi more important than being the Vice Chancellor of France?
I just sent a 10,000-man army to the southwest.
He did.
I don't know how much more I can do for you. I mean, I'll definitely give you a letter of introduction, and I think it's reasonable to say, hey, if you can help them out in whatever way possible, if it's within your means,
We would be indebted.
It would be in France's
You could
best
do that
interest.
for us.
Yes, of course. It would take a couple of days to get it with the official seal and all that.
All right,
okay.
But absolutely.
Can you tell us about the Pope?
So, the Pope in Avignon is Pope John the 22nd. Yes, and
so close.
he has a very, very, very I don't know what you would call it, subaltern, if you will, who is his assistant. I mean, that's all I know. I remember her. Her name is Melisande Moreau. Yes, that's it, Melisande Moreau. And she handles most of his.
That's Nuvier's sister.
Most of his comings and goings. Supposedly he's a very devout, faithful Christian. Somebody's banging pots out in the hallway there.
It's chamber pots.
Oh, don't spill any of those.
All right. So we will come back.
So Pope Jean, is he the type of man that he is? He is a holy man, but does he crave the entire of the Christian church to be? Does he have a score to settle with the false pope? Is he engaging in any communication there? Any type of engagement?
Well, I mean, there's a war being fought over over who is the pope between the Germans, and there are those who claim
I
that,
think that was part of Kyber.
that Pope John is a puppet of the King of France. That he was merely put there by the French king. I mean, you have to go all the way back to the Templars being executed, and who you believe why the Templars were executed. I mean, there are those that claim that the king was deeply in debt to the Templars, and so it was better to get rid of the Templars than to actually pay off the debts. Whether or not you believe that, I wasn't the Vice Chancellor then. I mean, I don't know. It was, almost 15 years ago now. But they were, and then after they were eliminated, the then Pope, decided to excommunicate the king. And when he excommunicated him, the king didn't rightly want to be excommunicated. So there's some question as to why the then Pope was detained, if you will. And for some reason he was found, he died, shall we say, while he was in a villa in Italy, and there were quite a few bruises to his body. Some say, he Some say he was a flagellant, and others say that, you know, perhaps it was something more nefarious that happened. And, well, when that Pope was suddenly dead, somewhere in there, there was a new Pope who happened to be French. Go figure. And that new Pope quickly made a whole bunch of cardinals. And, of course, all of those cardinals were
French.
French, very good. Very good. And they were all French. And then, very mysteriously, that Pope, he was more like an interim Pope. You know, if you believe in that those who start a revolution always are the first to fall, well, I mean, then, you know, whatever. So, that Pope mysteriously died under rather unusual circumstances, but now there was the cardinals were all French. And so, who did they elect?
Another Frenchman!
Very good. Another Frenchman.
This would be Pope John.
And Pope John
French
is
are doing really well with the church right now.
now in the papacy. Yeah.
He said, recommunicated.
This is good. This is interesting information. I believe we can use this in our favor. We shall discuss.
But also, does the Pope have any needs or wants or scores to settle?
Well, I'm sure he would like to see the whole of Christendom spread. I mean, there's always pagans and heretics that are still out there, and that he probably wants burned, excommunicated and burned. Those who are supposedly one-time Christians excommunicated, and those who are heathens and heretics.
I believe proselytizing is a great career opportunity for you.
Yes, burned.
I do believe that mostly,
especially if you're French.
I do believe that mostly what the Pope would like is to not be considered a puppet of the king. To be autonomous as the ruler of the Christian church.
Are you trying to say the king with the pointy eight?
Kill the king?
King with the pointy eight?
I am not.
I cannot. No.
Not saying. Not for the first time. What I'm saying is that
All right.
we may be able to use that in our favor. This is a powerful enemy. If the church was to defeat a powerful enemy, as opposed to the king, it may look good for him that he assisted us in doing so.
That's true.
Yes, it was.
Very smart.
It was King
Especially
Philip.
the
Yes, King Philip was deeply in debt to those Templars, and the main reason here, going through my notes, is we were at war with the English. Well, we're still at war with the English. And
It's because they are English.
yes, good luck getting
It's
across
what
the
you do
channel
to the
if
English.
anybody wanted to go there. So King Philip, he quarreled incessantly with the popes. He just over authority, in particular with Pope Boniface. So previous minister, not the current minister, previous minister, Guillaume de Nogore, he denounced the Pope. And for that, the Pope excommunicated King Philip. Yes. And then, this is where it gets very complicated. So, Guillaume de Nogore and this rather nefarious character named Sciarra Colonna attacked Boniface at his palace. I mean, not attacked, but, you know. The
What does you know mean?
I'm sorry?
What does you know mean?
You understand. Je comprends, yeah?
No.
Je comprends? You understand?
They got a little physical.
Yes, it got a little out of control. The French Chancellor and the Colonnas demanded the Pope's resignation. Pope Boniface responded that he would sooner die, was supposedly the words. In response, Colonna says he only slapped Boniface. But he was found surprisingly dead a few days later. So, the next Pope, Benedict, he appointed the cardinals, but then he briefly died. less than a year later. Actually, not even a year.
Turnover rate.
Either
Does
way.
anybody take the job? Money? Power.
So, around the same time, because the Knights Templar were beholden to the Pope, the king decided that they were heretics.
This is a prequel before the other pope that's in power.
Yeah,
Yes. Supposedly, they were worshipping a demon, Baphomet, if you will, in the Holy Land, and so he had them excommunicated. He did owe them a lot of money, and for unrelated reasons, suddenly there was no more money owed to them, and the next papal election was set to ensure that the next pope would be Pope John. So, excuse me. Very interesting though.
Remember the name of that demon? What was the name of the demon you just mentioned?
Baphomet.
Baphomet, yes.
I remember
yes.
that was the demon that they were worshiping.
But was that also the demon that was in the amulet?
I don't know.
Is that who it is?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
No? Okay. Which demon did we kill?
We don't know.
Okay. Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's all perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. Yeah, well, anyway, you've got the gist of it. So, several things happened. A guy who was neither Italian nor the Pope that was elected, his civilian name, or whatever you want to call it, was Raymond Bertrand de Gaulle. He was elected and conveniently became Pope.
Do we know what happened to Baphomet?
No. Well, I mean, we never actually. No, I don't know if anyone actually saw him. Supposedly, they were worshipping. If I understand correctly, what they were doing is very bizarre. They supposedly. Supposedly, they found the head of somebody in Acre, in the Holy Land, and they were worshipping that head. And that head was supposedly the head of John the Baptist.
I remember this.
So it wasn't Baphomet, it was John the Baptist.
And it was supposedly, well...
John the Baphomet.
There's some twisted connection between Baphomet and John the Baptist that I'm not sure. I'm not a religious scholar, that I don't fully understand. But supposedly, the Templars took John the Baptist's head to a church in Scotland. That's all I know.
What do you know about this?
Oh. Which means the Templars were there. I mean...
Yes.
Yeah, well, we know about Guillaume, that became Argrad.
Yeah.
He was one of the Templars.
Yep. How many of the other Templars are also vampires?
He made a deal with Baphomet for something else.
Okay.
But I don't know how much of that Simon told everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, it might be a church. It might be like a Celtic circle or something like that they took it to. Because, I mean, they were supposedly, at this point, I guess heretic is the right word. I mean, worshipping some of those sort
false
of
idol and
false
stuff,
idol,
yeah.
what have you.
Yeah, frowned upon.
But yes, I mean, I hope I've given you some information. information.
I would really like to find
They're
that
making
head.
me rack my brain here and go through all these documents. I could spend it, just going through quickly through different books.
Fascinating. We could spend like another 8 years going through all this.
Yes, we could. I guess.
Okay.
Well, that's what
If
I
you could
recall.
prepare the document for us.
Yes, I mean it's not something I can just whip
No,
up
we
and that it will look
understand.
official.
We can
I
wait.
write a letter.
We can wait as I point to my non-existent watch
Yeah.
that hasn't been invented yet.
Well, how it should be. I mean,
It's a
day
giant
after
sundial.
day after tomorrow would be all right. And if I can find anything
Sure.
else out, I'll let you know.
Oh,
About
fabulous!
Yes.
it. But yeah,
Okay.
All right. Well, have a good evening.
I hope you do too.
We could look in the library for any information on that demon.
We could, yeah. I mean, we're going there anyway. Might as well
Yes.
research.
Yeah.
John the Baptist, Baphomet.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. We appreciate your time.
Oh.
You have been very helpful for us. We shall send word on how we progress. We will see you in 2 days.
Yes. We'll definitely have it available in 2 days. Yes. I mean, you did a wonderful thing there, defeating them. Yes.
Well, thanks for your carpet.
Oh, yes, indeed. There was, yeah, never mind. All good.
Oh,
Yep.
Oh,
No,
you
no,
can't
no.
just do that.
No.
You can't just do that. No.
I'll see you in 2 days.
Oh,
all good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Well, leave us on a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
I mean, wow.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you've done so much for us. Did you find anything of any value that would be great for France?
Not
No.
really. It seemed more of a military
Camping
contingent.
supplies.
Fortunately, we took quite a beating by the hands of Ghazi. And
Oh, you did.
One of
Yes.
the carts that looked like it may have housed some things was burned to cinder. But we couldn't rescue anything from it.
Oh, very well. Oh, good. I'll see you in a
Still
couple
smoking.
days then.
I feel like this is out of character. This is out of game. I feel like we should ask him to maybe identify that sword.
I can take a look at it.
We'll think about it. You can identify? I'm just saying. Well, we got a guy here. He can identify stuff.
Not yet, but
We've asked him to identify stuff before. The way he worded it made it sound like he was gonna for France, but right? I don't know.
I mean, I already
Just put it
have
out there.
I mean, if you want to.
No, you have the sword. Your sword. You burned your hand off.
I already
for it.
have a really nice sword.
Okay.
I like this sword very much.
You had some speculation about what the sword is, though, right? Didn't you think that this other sword that we found was something else?
Yes, it's. I was told that it was a sword of a great Arab fighter that was being used as part of the bargain between Ghazi and.
Okay.
I mean, either way, I was gonna end up taking a look at it at some
Well,
point.
yeah,
but
Well, this guy might be
Might, yeah.
be able to tell us a lot about
That's
it.
a
So
fair
I'm just saying, don't want to miss this opportunity. We can decide in 2 days when we go see him. We can
Sure.
do it then.
I left it. I left it in the cart anyway.
Okay. Okay.
With Georgiana's knife.
Yeah. Everybody that walks by.
Better than the club.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna head to the library.
Sure. A little late night library session.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Let's go. Onward.
You do find a large library in town. What are you looking for doing?
Found your. Are you ready to do some reading?
Yeah, I can do the research if you want. If you want to.
Should help. Should help.
So yeah, I'll start. I will pull a. I imagine there are people that work.
Sure,
at the
there are
library.
docents moving around the room. and
Yeah,
whatever.
I think
Right.
typically what I would do is I would tell them what I'm looking for, and they would collect it and then bring it to me and send word that it is ready, and I can come back when the research is ready.
What is it you're looking for?
So I would be looking for information about anything that I can find relating to the amulet or an abraxas. I would be looking for information about Baphomet, specifically pictures, and any information that comes up about him.
Looks a lot like John the Baptist. Very
John the
surprising.
Baptist.
John the Baptist.
And the tale of what happened to his head, worshipped where it might have ended up specifically. And then for kicks and giggles, I'd probably also look for any mention of dragon crystals falling from the sky.
Yeah.
I mean, how big is Scotland really? It's not that big, right? It's pretty small. You can walk across in like half a day.
Scotland is as big as its people's hearts.
So it's super small.
Well,
It's very large.
I mean, his heart is very big, but it's very sad.
Anything else while we're here?
It does rain a lot.
Yeah. It's just a land of depression, is what you're saying.
I can't think of anything else. I mean,
Okay.
that's...
Do you want to look up anything about your sword?
Nope.
Okay.
I was gonna actually, as walking, I had some history proficiency. I'll say, do you want me to look at the sword? See if I see anything.
Sure, take a look.
I don't know how.
It's very fancy.
Yes.
I mean, you open it up and you're looking at the sword. I mean,
I have some history proficiency. Is there anything in history that would
sure.
keep me back?
Roll a history check.
Can I help him with that?
How would you do so?
We all look at it.
So I do have. Actually, never mind. I have no proficiency in anything that's going to help. Other than I can give him guidance.
Okay.
That's about it. So
You cast a spell. You weave your fingers and speak some
You're like, come on, you
ornate
can remember.
incantations,
You
and
can
you get an
remember.
extra D4. Some people are looking at you strangely casting a spell in here, but you go ahead for it.
Oh, nice. So,
19.
19. You get the impression it's a very nice sword, a wickedly old sword. As you pick it up and you look it over, you see what appear to be Arabic carvings in the sword itself. Unusual for a sword like this, a saber like this. It is extremely light, just like feather light, almost delicate, but not fragile, just not fragile, just very, 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 very light. You kind of weave it around without drawing attention to yourself, and you figure that it's very, very, very easy to manipulate if somebody were able to manipulate it.
What kind of?
You
is
think
it-
that
is
it's probably very old. You suspect that it's
Is it like a
probably
saber?
like
It's a saber.
200 to
Yes. Oh, it is a
300
saber.
years
Yeah.
old. Just a quick guess.
Mark knows the history. Kip does not. No one
Okay.
does.
Okay.
And that's what you pick up from just examining it.
Right. Unfortunately, looks nice, but I can't. Never seen it in books that I read. No.
it's very nice.
Yes.
Okay, you asked about the Abraxas amulets. And somebody comes back with some documents about an Abraxas amulet. And it looks more like chicken scrawls on scrolls and so forth. Some of it looks like the ramblings of almost like madmen. And it says that Abraxas, and it's written in this very ancient kind of script that is itself not decipherable, but then next to it says Abraxas. That and again, sifting through all of this, it says that what you read is that Baphomet made Hugh de Payens a vampire and made him the first vampire. Over time, Hugh de Payens developed the Abraxas amulet. And this is reading between things.
Yeah.
And that it involved a bit of trial and error on the part of Hugh de Payens. And many victims were turned into vampires to test his Abraxas amulets that Hugh de Payens was trying to make. He was trying to make a powerful amulet that allowed him to do something, supposedly. Later, another name comes up. Jacques de Molay worked with, or somehow was connected with, Hugh de Payens. And he started making amulets as well. And supposedly he made them for some great leaders, is what it says, alludes to. You read on elsewhere that it just talks about the word Abraxas in very general terms, that it's a word that has a lot of mystical meaning and a very, what's called Gnostics. An early Gnostic teacher in Alexandria, Egypt, if you read on, named Balasides, who taught hundreds of years ago, like from the year 117 to 138. He found the Gnostic texts, and he believed that the Gnostic texts were a very, very, almost like a holy book, if you will. And he believed in this great invisible spirit. Some of his texts also appears in some Greek papyrus. But he used this. Somebody used this information while working with stones, gems, perhaps dragon diamonds, to create amulets and charms. And on the stone was spelled out, albeit in the cryptic old language form, Abraxas. And so you asked, what does it mean? Apparently, each of the 7 letters in its name represent each of the 7 classical planets, if you will. So there's also ramblings throughout them about that the Abraxas is somehow connected to a demon. And what else was it you asked about?
Possible these rain down of gems or stones.
Yeah, but also it was basically any information about Baphomet and John the Baptist. Also, like where the whereabouts where in Scotland that maybe this head was buried with the Templars.
Okay, so you read on about this, and the docent brings you a text that says, legend has it that the treasures of the Knights Templar were secretly removed from Paris to be hidden in a temple. A legend states, twixt the oak and the elm tree you will find buried the millions free. The French legends about what the Templar treasure was apparently state that it was taken to Scotland, with the knights first landing on an isle called May, not the month of May, but the island of May. The first, and then they would go forth to the Firth of Forth, and further north to the River Esk, which would take them on to a through Roslin and beyond. Supposedly, in the treasure is the head of John the Baptist.
Excellent.
So you did read on about John the Baptist. So you find another text about looking for more about John the Baptist. It talks about a man named Hugh de Payens. Again, you had read about him earlier. He was the first Grand Master and of the Knights Templar, and he lived a couple hundred years ago. There's a scribbling on the side that says he is a great vampire, just kind of scrawled across it. While in the Holy Land, it talks about Hugh de Payens having embraced mysticism or Gnosticism again while he was in the Holy Land. And then there's like scribblings in between the text, and it says he was presented with the opportunity to become immortal if he would agree to guard the head of the true Christ, John the Baptist. John the Baptist was bringing peace and order to the world. Baphomet believed that if people knew that John the Baptist was the true Christ, then there would be peace. Baphomet, however, wanted chaos. In addition, Baphomet wanted to be worshipped himself. Being disillusioned and Gnostic, Hugh de Payens agreed. So Baphomet appeared, killed him, turned him into a vampire, giving him immortality.
Okay. Would there be any record of Hugh de Payens' death? Even though it says he's immortal. Is he still out there? Is what Kip would want to know.
You go through the text, and it says that Hugh de Payens died 24 May 1136. It doesn't say where he is.
It's 1136, the time of the Crusades.
One of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that would be his death to become a vampire.
Yes.
Okay.
And it would be reasonable if he was charged with protecting the treasure, the head of John the Baptist, that he would be in Scotland if that's where it exists.
I mean, we know at least one other Templar that became a vampire. Ograth
Yes.
was a Templar that died
Aye.
at the walls of Agra.
And
It would be.
who else had the amulets? It was Ghazi, and then Aladdin Bey had one.
Oh, I don't remember that. I
Did
believe that
Argad have
all
one?
of the Templar. I don't know if
Not
Argad
that-
had one.
Not that we
Okay.
know of. Not that we ever saw.
So there were a few made, but
How
we
many?
know of at least two.
Yeah. How many did it say? How many were made additionally?
It
Did
didn't
they
say, it just said he
mention-
made.
Okay. He made others.
Yeah, he made
How many
others.
Templars were there in that group? Would each of them have been turned to a vampire, and would each of them have an amulet?
I don't know.
Well, if this,
But 7 seems to be a number.
if the Hugh de Payens or whatever his name is, if he was turned into a vampire and he turned a lot of victims
does not-
into vampires to test
gives him
amulets, he might
a
have
power.
used
Yeah.
a lot
It
of
did not
Templars
say what
to
power.
try to do that.
Okay.
Vampire Factory.
Tom, 7 classical planets: Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Neptune, Uranus.
You don't find the specific references to them there.
Understood. 7 classic brothers. This has been fruitful.
You racking your brain, you do recall that you met a man who was appeared to be a monk crossing the Dinaric Mountains. I think you might have been the only one of the current group who was there. You fought 2 giants.
I think that was literally the next session after I had stepped away.
Oh, was it?
I believe so.
Oh no, I don't remember this.
Giants.
You fought.
I remember fighting 2 giants.
There was Boges.
Yeah, I wasn't there.
Tos,
I
or I can't remember the exact name. His name was Chipois de Terre.
Yeah, I do not know that name.
Except his amulet was slightly different. It was kind of crude, and it appeared to be made out of wood.
Wood. Yes, I vaguely remember this. This was a while ago.
And he said to you, c'est un amulet Braxis. It is a Braxis amulet. C'est un symbol Gnostic. It is a Gnostic symbol. He says, mystics do not hold there. Mystics from another life. I think
he's where we at least got the idea that it allowed them to walk in the sun.
He did say,
but it was like there were like he had like a group of vampires that also had them, but they weren't real.
Yeah, they were like
the vampires weren't
like
real.
there was different grades.
The amulets, they weren't like the real amulets. They were like mocks.
Different levels. Like there was like
right.
Okay. Like Amway?
he did tell you. So I know you're not your character, and your character's not you. So he did tell you. Vous les champions du soleil. He was talking to the champions of the sun.
Yeah.
You are good hommes and femmes. Pourtant, mais les bombes font parfois des choses mauvaises. My French is a little bit bad.
It's better than mine.
Despite the admonitions of Pope Clement V to the Roy, to King Philip IV, pauvres soldats du Christ, the Templars, if you will, of the Temple of Solomon, think of them as Templars, n'étaient pas, were not too mauvais or bad. Moi aussi. Pourtant, there is evil among them. You seek responses, answers. Ask yourself, pourquoi? Why? Guillaume de Nogaret, pas le pape Boniface, puis replace un pauvre, weak française par un strong, albeit encore la pauvre France. Why? Ask yourself, why did Guillaume de Nogaret replace why did Guillaume de Nogaret kill or take out a weak French Pope and replace them with another French Pope? Alors, he said to you, and you guys have gone in so many different directions, albeit not this one, so you don't have to. Alors, go to the Chateau de Chinon, dans français. Go to the castle of Chinon in France. In le tour de Coudray, vous trouvez, you will find answers. Yes, you will find answers. Vous recherchez, you seek. Until we meet again, mes amis,
vous sols. Safe travels, I think is what he said to you.
Can we get it in the non-French accent?
You're just telling me about this castle now.
Well, he told me to ask myself.
You could have brought up the castle at any point.
But I am asking myself now, why? Why would he replace a French Pope with a French Pope?
Why did the French do anything?
Where is this castle?
It is in France.
Sherman?
We are so close.
Is that what he said?
We are in France.
He did say in Chinon, yes.
Okay.
Chinon.
Okay, we're close.
Oh, and there's a reason why it's so big. Maybe we should go there.
It's
on
about the
way.
same distance to get there as it would be to go to Avignon.
Hello.
Now, is that the answer of what the amulets do, or the answer of why the French Pope was replaced by a French Pope?
I think he was saying the latter rather than the former.
Right.
So, which may or may not be relevant. I don't know. I mean, a lot of water has crossed the bridge since then.
Yes.
That was a long time ago.
All relevant.
And it's all still in there.
Can we get that again? Can we get that again in the again one more time, please?
My notes are actually written in French. I did take 6 years of French. So.
No, I know, but I didn't take 6 years of French.
That's the problem.
But Kip took Latin, so one more time in Latin.
I didn't take that.
What little French
You're asking me to translate it as my
I understand it better.
Go to this castle, we get answers about why the French king
Why do something there.
But it might not be relevant anymore.
So,
is what it is.
I'm not saying it is or it isn't.
It may or may not be. It's just that would be why the French Pope was replaced by a French Pope. Could be because one of them maybe is a vampire.
Yeah, so we have to kill vampires.
Potentially.
So go to a castle in advance and kill vampires.
But it doesn't give me the answers on the amulet, but it may. I mean, he's a man of power there and may have an amulet.
Right, that's what I'm thinking.
And we might learn a little more.
Okay.
But we could also look to see if the Pope has an amulet. That would be interesting.
That would be interesting. That's a side note. That's a side pick, yeah.
So, Avignon or Chateau de Champs?
Well, we should go to the Chateau first. And then go to Avignon, because we want to speak to this guy before we go to
Perhaps
the false Pope.
Okay. I mean, it's all south. You know, it's the wrong direction for Kip, but let's go.
And how long was this conversation
I
about?
understand.
With the monk?
Kip,
how long was this conversation with the monk?
6 years ago.
Yeah. Give or take. A year.
A lot has changed.
Well, it's for us 6 years. I mean, in the game, it's not 6 years, right? I mean,
It's 6 years.
Well, the
it's
date is
close.
in the Dinaric Mountains. I think where it says battle with the giants or somewhere in there. What it would be in those mountains, about just to the left of your finger there, or somewhere right. Go.
Oh, Dinar's Mountains.
I think somewhere where you cross.
Battle with the giants.
Okay, and there should be a date
April 20th.
of what year?
It would be
Does it say
17.
So we look
17.
at the color of the line.
Yeah, it's the red line. So
Oh, okay, 2017. So it's only
That's like a couple months.
7 years.
That's a couple
7
months
years
before
ago.
I started playing.
That's right. Give or take a year.
That was
So
right before I started playing.
is that vampire still even there?
I mean, he's a vampire.
Vampires. They're always.
He lives
Well,
forever.
he might have moved on.
Where did he go? The New World?
No, maybe
What
moved
new
on.
world?
He's there.
Maybe he moved to.
don't know what exists.
Maybe he went to.
What is
maybe
this
he went to
new
Paris.
world you speak of?
It's a
Maybe
whole
he went to
new-
Paris.
A whole new world.
I mean,
Maybe he got sick of that and went to Paris.
we could say that about anything here. We
You
could go to
never
the
know.
new Pope. The new Pope could be in Spain on retreat. I mean, we can say that about anybody. It might just not be home.
All right.
You could go find
it's
Simon's corpse.
Find his bones.
Yeah.
Nicely laid out.
I think it's pretty safe to bet that he would still be there.
Okay. Yeah, we can do that. We got some good information. I got an
Yeah, we
entire
did.
2
We
new
got a
pages
lot.
of notes from years and years ago.
So and
I'm sorry if it was kind of disorganized. I didn't really think you were gonna
Go there.
go.
No, it's okay. No, we there's a lot of stuff that we
That is-
needed.
Yeah. So just yeah,
A lot of
it's-
reminders that I needed and a lot of new stuff in there.
Stuff that probably should have been done along the way.
Yeah.
But we were distracted
Well,
by
you know
men
what?
and
In
rabbits.
all honesty, though, we had been really working hard to get to a library that would have this information. We've tried before.
Yeah, I've looked up the amulet before multiple times.
And it
like
was
a
just
couple
that
times.
it
and
wasn't
just never
a
really got
library
much
that would
info
had
on
you,
it.
and even our DM even said like, you know, you need to be in a more significant city in order to have this type of information.
Is about as significant as you get.
Right. So we had actually spoken about doing this a long time ago about looking at libraries in Paris, but we just never got around to it. We never thought of it.
Was there an image of Baphomet anywhere, or at least a description? Specifically, horns and body of a man, legs of cloven hooves.
It sounds like you know what he looks like.
Sounds like a demon.
Because that is what it's
The image, yes, there is an image. You look carefully at the image, and it seems like it's kind of very crude. And then you rack your brain for a moment, and you're like, where have I seen this image before? And that is exactly it. The image is the figure in the center.
Oh. Okay. Got it.
It is Baphomet is the one that Ghazi has made the deal with. I got it. Kip is as sure as he ever has been. And now the question is
So are you saying we killed Baphomet?
Potentially, or banished.
Well, that's good.
But that makes me wonder if Ghazi is actually
The new Baphomet?
Hugh de.
Hugh de Prince.
Who's de Payon?
Hugh de
Payon.
Payon. Yeah, I definitely didn't write it that way.
Oh.
If Hugh de Payon, the first vampire. And that is why he needs the amulet back.
Okay.
Food for thought.
That's good. That's
Food
good.
for thought.
Yeah. Okay.
Where are you going? So it is by now late. I would say it's fairly late.
Burn the candle at
You
both
guys
ends.
have been playing with your sword over there, like pulling it away from each other's hand. Let me play with that. Let me play with that. And you're like, shut up. Kids, I'm trying to read.
Yeah. No, I would have been helping Kip.
I know. I'm just joking.
No sword play in the
I'm
library.
just joking. You're watching the Carpathian Adventure on Seven-Sided Die, and we will be right back.
Information dog.
Yeah.
My name is Jumnus Dawnflower. I used to be a merchant sailor until I was shipwrecked on a strange island and killed in a sacrificial blood ritual. In the moment between life and death, an otherworldly goddess of light came to me, offering me a second chance at life if I swore to enact her will upon the world. Now I travel with the champions of the sun, looking to right wrongs, vanquish evil, and earn the new life I've been given.
Aha! Hello, friends! You can call me Louvier Moreau. I come from the beautiful country of France, of course! Traveling as a salesman, banished from my home, where by the hand of my twisted sister, my father was killed, and I was implicated. Mon Dieu, how low I've come. But in that low, I found the champions of the sun. Although they may not smell like sweet wine, they are honorable. Mostly.
My name is Virexin. I am a monk who was exiled into Greece after fleeing my homeland. I was sent on a quest via a dream I received. I went in search of great heroes I saw in the dream to help stop some monstrosity from wreaking havoc across the world. I found those heroes in the champions of the sun. Now I strive to gain their trust so they can one day help me defeat the vile beast that threatens everything.
I'm Aldrich, and while I grew up an urchin in the narrow confines of Venice, I never seemed to fit in there. Except for this music box, my past is hidden to me. Now north of the Alps, I feel I'm closer to home, wherever that might be. Near the Untersberg mountain, I discovered these intrepid adventurers. Though they're blazing a dangerous path, perhaps they might help me discover who I really am.
I am Mikolash, a monk from Romania, and sometimes too curious for my own good. My scars tell only part of the tale. Having witnessed cannibalism in my village, as a child, I fled, never to return. On my own, I stole from others to survive. A monk caught me and offered me a better way, but I abused their kindness. Now I walk alongside the champions of the sun. Will they be my own undoing? Or have I finally found the path I was meant for?
I am Borinth, the cave bear. I come from a tribe of barbarians that once lived in the mountains of the Badenweiler. While on my sacred spirit quest, my tribe and family were attacked with none left alive. I now seek the power to avenge my people. With my rage, I grow stronger, and with the champions of the sun, I seek a path to restore and preserve my people's culture and rid this world of any evil that stands in my way.
From the kingdom of Aragon, I am Zyman Val. I ventured forth with few possessions and little coin, save an ancient tomb I searched to decipher. But I've struggled to find clues, and at times, food. While freezing in the Alps, fate crossed my path with a shining night and the champions of the sun. Having aided me in a desperate time, they have earned my service and my friendship. Now, using my wizardry, I fight by their side.
I am Delilah. I hail from far-off Ethiopia. With no brothers, my noble father indulged my obsession with self-defense. On business in Rome, my family was accosted, but my skills enabled me to defeat our attackers. My desire to fight crime fueled. In my travels, I made a powerful enemy who may now pursue me. Near the Drusistine, I met a stoic knight and the champions of the sun. Now, in a strange land, I hope they can help me deliver justice to criminals, or death.
You're watching the Carpathian Adventure, and on Seven Sided Die, the party is doing a deep dive into lore from centuries ago in real time.
Into the memory banks.
Into the memory banks. I hope this is not too boring for anybody at the table or for anybody else. And we rejoin them in progress here. You guys are leaving. It is nightfall as you leave the Library of Paris. You're wandering through the streets. It is still busy, but not as, obviously not as busy. You're wandering back to the same hotel, inn, tavern that you were at. Inn, I guess, is a better word than tavern. And there's those batting of the pots and pans again. La Chouette Blanche, the white owl. And you go back inside, and there's a hearty brew cooking away. If you want to have some food, you could easily find some food in here.
You'll have a quick meal. I don't think we have
It's a little bit more, a little busier than it was a little bit earlier. And the waitress, Mademoiselle Peluche and Peluche's, welcome back. And we have a special tonight. It is very popular and very, very hearty.
Is it frog legs?
Yes, it is, as a matter of fact. How did you know? We are getting
One
a
in
lot
Rome.
of frog legs from the west.
Yes.
They keep sending us more and more frog legs from out west.
We have
We have experienced a lot of frog.
Yes, yes, yes. and-
What do they do with the rest of the frog, do you think, if they're only sending the legs?
I mean, you would have to venture west to, what is it, Turos or Chinon to find out.
All right. Maybe we'll find out on our journey.
New quest.
What's happening to the frogs?
Maybe there's a dragon stone there.
It's a whole nother year campaign. The frogs.
Yes, and they are big chunks of frogs. These are the biggest frog legs I've ever seen.
This sounds wonderful.
Yes. Right. You get they bring out these bowls of this thick, heavy porridge, and they've got chunks. It's like giant chunks, almost like chunks of huge pieces of chicken in it. But obviously, it's not chicken. And with some other stuff to thicken it up, and big chunks of bread, and they bring over some brews. And the 5 of you staying?
Yeah.
Yes.
1 night? 2 nights?
2 nights. Right? 2 nights?
2 nights, possibly more.
You don't want to stay for 5 and feel really good about yourself?
Oh, or 7 and get a long rest.
Oh, yeah.
I think we stay for the time.
Okay. I mean, might as well.
Yeah.
There's no rush.
Relax, recuperate.
Yeah, right,
he still has his
okay.
hand that needs mending.
It's fine.
Yeah,
Totally fine.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, we'll stay for the week.
Okay.
You can barely see the bones.
With food for 5, it's normally about 150 for you. Yeah, 125 for the week.
It's going to be 6. Here is Balder. Balder.
Oh, okay. One.
Matthews, 7.
I think everybody has money. I did.
Yeah, we all have
It's,
some.
it's,
We all have money now. We all got to pay for it.
25 each, and that should cover you for the week.
All right.
With food, does not include drink. Your bar tab will be at the end of your week.
How does gems translate into gold?
You can just break it down. You just
1 gem equals 100 gold, or how's that?
Sure, that sounds good.
All right. Kibble pay.
All right.
Okay.
Fabulous.
So, what are you doing while you're here? We're going to fast forward through these 7 days, unless there's something specific you want to accomplish.
The only thing specific Kip will do is he will, in his room, he will pull out the rock, the black rock, and he will speak into it and say, Draconis, this is Kip. The quest that you have sent us on, I am pleased to say it is complete. The Red Dragon was a demon in disguise, and we have banished him. I hope that we are in your good graces once again.
A few moments go by, and you hear a voice in your head. I am surprised you lived. Well, you did indeed hold your bargain, so I guess it was reasonable that I let you live. If we wish to do business again, rebuild my tower. Do that, and you will be truly in my good graces.
Rebuild tower. See Balder.
I think we need to go back to that.
I mean, Galila knocked it down.
To the sewers and get some more gold.
Get some more gold, yes. And then I will reply back, indeed I am surprised we lived as well, and I will see what I can do.
You just hear a...
In the bag, I'll pull out the other one, the green gem, and I'll say, my Lord Draco Persini, the Red Dragon has been disposed of. I know you were on your way, and I thank you for your haste. However, it turns out it was a demon posing as a red dragon. As we all know, there are no such things as red dragons.
This is true.
And then I will...
You told me that there was a dragon there, and now you're telling me to turn around in the middle of the night after having been flying for 2 days straight?
Rather than flying for 4 days straight.
I will tell him, unfortunately, we have disposed of it. It was a demon giving dragons a horrible name. We could not let that stand. But if you are Near Mons, I have sent you some barrels of Crusade de Dragon in thanks. Bouche? 2 barrels.
I will look for it.
What was that? Yeah, I sent him 2 barrels.
Of what?
Crusade de Dragon, the dragon beer.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Glad I asked.
Beer to satiate the dragon. And I sent them to Draco Persini.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
I sent them to Mons.
Oh, all right. Well, then, thank you.
And that is what he will do. He will wrap up a couple of those loose ends.
Edric is going to go shopping for more healer's kit supplies. Getting a little low.
Okay, just roll an investigation check for me with advantage.
Of course. So what's my investigation? Come on. There we go. Well, that's a natural 20, so 21.
Okay. No problem finding them. Roll a d10, please.
10. Yes, sir. 1.
You find, in your first, roll again. That's ridiculous.
That would be a 6.
You find 11 kits.
11 kits. Perfect.
You buy them at whatever the cost is.
Yeah, they're 5 gold a piece, so I will get 7 of them.
Okay. Anyone else doing anything?
I'm just gonna kind of like keep my ear out as I'm walking around town and like doing different things for any kind of rumors or gossip or anything that happens to pique my interest, I suppose.
Okay, you do see. It's a busy town as you meander around the streets, and there's all kinds of goods coming and going. One of the wealthier towns, if you were looking for something. You do see wagons rolling in from the west with
replete with frog
giant frog legs. And these frog legs are
just a little too big.
Huge.
We're heading west, aren't we? Terrifying.
All right, I'm gonna write that down as a quest. It's official.
All right, I'm gonna make a signature.
What the hell is going on with the frogs?
I'm terrified.
Is it
That's one of the 2 other things.
One of the
do this
what
week.
is it? One of the plagues? Was it Moses? Whatever.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's where we need the saber.
Proof in the meantime is walking around seeing if you can pickpocket anybody.
Okay, roll an investigation check with
That's
advantage.
basically what I'm doing. That's all I do.
Sure,
See
roll
what-
investigation.
Get my thieving on.
Sure. What else is there to do? One in Rome. 26.
A 26. You easily spot a target.
A rube.
Okay, you easily spot a target. You see someone with a purse hanging down off of them. How are you approaching them?
I'll bump and as you're walking slowly, they're walking.
grab.
Bump and grab.
Okay, give me a stealth check, please.
Uh, 14.
A 14. As you bump into him, you think that it was kind of awkward, and you get the sense that the person knows of your presence. You could still get to it, but you might be seen.
It's no need. There'll be others.
Okay, you continue on.
Town is full.
Go, let's say, give me another investigation check, please. With advantage. It's so filled with people.
21.
21. You see a wealthy couple going down the street, and off to either side of them, they each have what appears to be a purse of sorts hanging off of them.
Do the old bump, you know.
Do the old bump. You're just gonna walk up and just kind of.
That's walking. Well, are they walking or they're standing?
They're walking. We're walking through the streets of.
Busy
Paris.
street. A lot of people.
It's fairly busy. I mean, it's not like jammed right up against each other, but it's fairly busy.
Right. So bumping. Pardon.
Okay, roll me a
Pardon.
stealth check, please.
23.
A 23. You so carefully, deftly approach, and with ease, and you just like ride about against them. They don't even seem to notice. Give me a sleight of hand check, please. An 18. 18. As you go to like slice the handle of the purse, you're like perfectly. As you go, it's at that moment you feel as though you might get caught in the act.
How long are we going to be staying here? How many more days?
A while.
7. You're here 7.
7 more days.
I think. You tell me.
Yeah. So we're on day 1 or something like day 2.
Well, we're kind of in the middle of it all.
Yeah, it's kind of like mishmash.
Just keep in mind, well, it doesn't matter for you as much, but this is a long rest for us.
No,
7 days.
yes,
So
I get
if you get into something
Right.
that
No, I'm
negates
thinking
your
about how
long
far if I dash and then disappear for a couple of days. But no, then I'll let it go again.
Okay, you let it go. I'll give you another one here. Give me another investigation check. All right. I wrote all this.
18.
18. You don't see any pockets worth trying to get at as of right now.
There's always tomorrow.
There's always tomorrow. Okay, anyone else doing anything?
We go over to Kip's room. I'm gonna knock on Kip's door.
Housekeeping.
Kip will be there. He's whittling away a piece of wood.
It is the battle.
That's part of the cross.
There were 2. No.
It is the Baron. I would like to have a word with you.
Come on in. And he'll set the piece aside. It looks like a small owl, very similar to the owls of the inn that we came in, but it's like half completed.
Okay. Baron will enter into the room.
Oh wait, do I have to invite you in? Is it too late?
You did.
Ah,
You did say come in. I already said come in. Too late.
I walk into the room, and the Baron will walk up to like the fireplace area. Your fire is beginning to die. And I'll go up to it, and I'll start kind of poking it with the poker.
Lyko is a little disturbed, lifts his head up, and then sees that it's you, and the ears stay up, but he puts his head down.
I was 30 years old when I lost my sweet Elizabeth.
That must have been a long time ago.
It has been 125 years since that moment.
Her name was Elizabeth?
Her name was Elizabeth.
Elizabeth. It's a pretty name.
She was the love of my life. And she was taken from me. She was infected by the vampires. I was at her side when she died and when she was reborn. It was up to me to rid her of her curse. So I understand your pain, and I know you see things beyond what the living can normally see. It is difficult to be surrounded by death. Always. When she began to turn, I was prepared to do what must be done to end her suffering. Before I finished her, before I cured her of her curse, I told her that I would see her soon on the other side. And when
I plunged the stake through her heart. There was so much pain in her face and so much anger. She was like a wild beast. But there was a moment of peace. And I do not know if she did not want me to know, or if she was perhaps trying to protect me. But before I plunged that into her, I told her that I would see her soon. And she said to me, in that moment of peace, she said, I died, and there was nothing. Stay. And I plunged the stake into her heart. And as I said, it has been 125 years from that day. I do not know if she meant that there was nothing on the other side, or if she was trying to protect me. But I know I'm not ready to be nothing. As much as I miss her, and I know you miss your beloved, there may not be anything on the other side. It may be here in life that you must live to honor her memory.
You see, Baron, that's where you're wrong. You think that there's nothing on the other side, and when I see her that I am dreaming or seeing these visions that are construed by my pain. But she is there. She is really there. She is on the other side. And she guides me, or haunts me, however you want to look at it. But I think that she is not the only spirit that I have seen since that tragic moment. I have been haunted and tormented. And you, this vampire that took your beloved, did you slay him or her? Did you slay it?
I have not found the one responsible yet.
And is that what you've been doing this whole time, is looking for that one?
It has been, yes.
Okay, then, I mean, you must understand then the pain of not having the closure, of vowing revenge and not being able to have it.
I do. And I believe that maybe you misinterpret. I do not want to believe that there is nothing. I want there to be something. And I was wondering if perhaps Kid Kalen could help me see what he sees. Perhaps there is a way to connect to the other side. Perhaps there is a way to capture these spirits, communicate with these spirits, and help them, or just to believe in them.
I feel like I should pat his back.
I want to believe. I want to be able to see what you see. I want to be able to help you. And I want to be able to build a bridge between.
You see, you think you want to see them, but they're everywhere. They don't go. There's too many of them, and if you try to aid them, they'll suck you in. They'll drag you right on with them. And some might want help, and some might want vengeance, and some of them, the moment they realize that you can see them, they try to enact their vengeance on you. It's not a good thing. And communication is always difficult, if not impossible at times. It is nice to see that when some of them find peace, like in Boren's village, I saw his leader find peace. And that warmed me, but until I find selfishly maybe, but yes, until I find and know that Cyan's been avenged, then I am free to choose whether I want to be with her or find my own peace in life after. But it is not a blessing that you might think it is. This is more of a curse.
I do not see it as a blessing. I understand your pain. I just don't want you to have to go alone. I don't want you to have to carry this burden alone.
But that's the thing. There's so many of them. They're everywhere.
There is many of us.
I'm never alone.
In life, you may seem alone at times.
Baron, you don't understand. Like, after I lost her, and I lost her family, which was my family, and I'd sought revenge, and I ran out into the world. I had a friend that accompanied me. I lost him. And then I decided, you know, it was just me and Lykoa. We were on our own, and that's the way it was meant to be, I thought. And then I found the champions, and I figured maybe now was a time where being alone was not accomplishing much. I was not getting any further in my pursuit of these demons that took everything from me. So aiding these allies that I could find in return to get the aid back. You know, I used the champions. And in return, they got my services, yes, but I was using them. And in return, I essentially became friends. And over time, you know, you travel for 7 years with a group, they become family. And when I saw our battle with Ghazi, and seeing my family being struck down again in front of me, and there was nothing I can do again, as helpless all these years, I am stronger than I was, I am wiser than I was, and yet here I was, just as helpless as I was. And you're asking me to do that again?
I had to drive the stake through the heart of my love. I had to do it myself.
I held my love in my arms as her chest was cut open, and the beauty that I loved so much bled and poured out in me, to later find her unrested in spirit form, talking to me, guiding me, and then telling me that it was time to be with her. Yours told you to live. Mine told me to come home.
Come home to where? Where is this home?
It is with her.
Is it in death? How is that home? You have never been there. You do not know. What I am asking of you is for you to live with us. To live with us. Be here with us. And I want to share that with you.
I am here, Baron. But my heart is not. It is
And when
with
your
her.
heart is not with you, you burn out, just like the flames.
And maybe I am burnt out. If you were to drive a stake through me right now, I don't know it would hit anything.
Now that is not true. You know it. I have been in this world much longer than I should ever have been. And I have seen many broken hearts. And I have seen many men, women, children die. Very few occurrences has it ever been a good thing. You can do more here. And your love would want you to do good here. You will have your time with her. But it is not yet. Let us continue to explore the spirits that you see walking amongst us. Perhaps they can speak to you and me in a positive way for positive change. There is explanations for everything. You have been chosen for a reason. And I have been chosen for a reason. Perhaps it's to be here with you. But you have to open your mind to it. Allow it. I do not want to see your fire burn out for no reason. Other than the fact that you did not want to care for it.
It is because I care that I don't want to see it happen again, Baron. And when we fight Ghazi again, we will have armies at our back, like we thought the first time. We will have allies and companions and old champions of old, and it would be a grand battle. And I'll be there, but it still does not bring me the closure that I seek.
Let us find you the closure that you seek. Perhaps it's not in death. We shall be going to your homeland, and I shall expect you to welcome me to your land, and get to see who the real Kip Kalan really is. In life, not in death. I do not want to have to bury you in your homeland.
Well, if there was a place to bury me, that might be the right spot for it, eh?
I know it. It is true. And someday, I am sorry to intrude upon you in this evening.
You give me much to think about, Baron, but the spirits are not to be trifled with. You should know that.
I have yet to see any. I have seen the souls leave the bodies. I have never seen them walking amongst us. And the dying breath, and the Baron's kind of holding onto his amulet that he has around his neck. Right now he's just kind of fiddling with it, you know. The dying breath of my dear Elizabeth, I captured in this amulet as her last breath left, hoping to capture her soul. I do not know if it worked. It has been with me ever since, and I have been here a very, very long time.
Well, I cannot say that the spirits that I see are souls, or just remnants of things that once were, but I know I see her.
Well, then perhaps we should think of this scientifically. We should figure out what it is that you are seeing. Perhaps if we talked with them, they will explain to us what they are. And then we can truly understand what it is to be alive and what it is to be dead and what it is to be beyond.
Well, if we are to experiment with it, I suggest we do it outside the city where there is less, because the cities are always full, and that can be dangerous.
I shall follow your lead. And Baron will kind of give a bow with his cape, and will turn around and say, "Good evening, Kip," and close the door behind him, and go off into the city streets.
Kip will sit there for a while contemplating, and then he'll pick up his little piece of wood, his half-carved owl, and continue whittling away.
Unless somebody...
Yeah. So as we progress later in the week, Kip will walk up to Naldo and will say, "Naldo, might I have a word?"
Sure, what is it?
I don't have much.
You don't need to pay me. It's okay.
No, it is a token, and I'll give you this wooden owl that I've carved. It's
It
crude.
looks like just like the one from the inn.
Hi. When we fought Ghazi,
when we almost beat Ghazi?
When we almost died to Ghazi.
You are still looking at everything all wrong.
Well, I wanted to say that when I told you to run, you could have ran, and you didn't.
I could not run. You were right next to me.
Yeah. And then you fell.
Yeah, we all kind of fell.
I just wanted you to know that I appreciated it. And I thank you.
Well, I'd like to say that I will fall in battle anytime you want, but that is not something I want.
Yeah. Well, I don't want you to fall in battle either, especially not on my account. But
Well, on any account of any champion, I would.
Yeah.
That's what we're here for, right?
Yes. I had a chat with the Baron, and I feel that everyone seems to think that I am okay falling in battle, and I've come to terms. If I did, I do.
Yeah.
But I don't know that I would have wanted to fall alone, and you were there, and that brought me some comfort. And not that you fell, that actually upset me, but
It would be an honor to die by your side, my friend.
it would be the honor.
But
The honor
that
would be mine.
is not our fortune. Our fortune is to win. And that is what we are going to do. We are the champions.
For those that have found family,
yeah,
perhaps we have already won.
Oh, that's very nice. Thank you. I consider you family as well.
Well, this is uncomfortable, but thank you, and I appreciate it. And
does he have a name?
It is the name that you provide.
All right, I will think on it. I'll let you know.
All right.
All right. Maybe we'll get a drink later.
Aye, sounds good.
There's a lass at the bar that you need to meet. I'll get back to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys, a couple days passes. You meet Jean-Jean. He provides you, unless there's anything else you need from him, he provides you with a scroll. It is an ornate scroll, clearly embossed with raised lettering, filigree, and with the first letter of each paragraph in graphically adorned with medieval marginalia around the sides of it, so that it's clearly an official document.
This is why it takes 2 days to make.
Yes. And he hands it to you, and he goes,
Please, keep in touch and let me know which way this goes. The wind blows for you.
Surely we will get rid of that false pope.
Which one?
Which, yes. Okay.
Well, the false one.
The false one.
Yes, the false one. Very good. Yes, of course. The false one, yes.
Exactly.
Yes. Well, best of luck with it then.
Thank you for everything. You have been a tremendous help with the army.
And you still have the ways to reach me if you need to, right? So.
Yes, I believe Kip has them.
Yeah, Kip has the stone.
Another stone.
I have another stone?
Yeah.
You
He gave us the sending stone.
You better
I
not.
gave it to you so you could tell me when you.
Yeah, you better not fall in the water.
when
You
you
will sink.
with the demon.
Don't think I put it in the inventory. Another rock.
Yeah.
I gave it to you so you could tell me when you had the demon trapped.
Yeah. We trapped him, but then we destroyed him.
It was a very
It
fluid
was-
situation. There wasn't a lot of time.
6 seconds
for
happened
chatting.
very fast.
For chatting.
Do you need to write my name down in the telephone of yours?
Sending stone to Jean-Jean.
It's Jean de Cherchemont.
Jean de Cherchemont.
Yeah.
So Jean-Jean.
Yeah, that's in here too.
Only my mother called me Jean-Jean.
Oh!
And it was normally Jean-Jean.
Take a look at it.
Jean de Cherchemont.
Jean-Michael Jean.
I don't
The
want to.
middle name, man.
What do you have to move?
I don't want to talk about it.
Okay.
Yes. Best of luck in your travels.
Yes,
then.
thank you very much.
And I will keep you in touch. If I hear, I will hear. I get regular updates on the army heading south. And when they engage, when they get to the area around Thessaloniki, it shouldn't be too long. And when they engage, I think they should make a grand impact.
Let's hope so.
Yes, indeed.
Hopefully we can get there sometime around when they arrive. Right? Are we heading that way? Eventually?
Where? Oh,
Where the army's
yeah.
going?
Oh, yeah.
The army's just going
That's, yeah.
that way, right?
Hopefully.
Okay. All right, well.
Well, thank you.
All right.
And you head out. Where are you guys going? 7 days pass, unless there's something else you wanted to do. You want to try and pickpocket somebody else?
Every day.
Okay,
When
go
that's
for
possible.
it. Every day. Give me a
Investigation?
An investigation check. Yes.
12.
A 12. You don't find anybody the next day. Give me another investigation check.
20.
A 20.
But not
You
a natural.
do.
30, 20.
I understand. You do find somebody who's capable of being pickpocketed.
Stealth?
Yep. Roll a stealth check, please.
16.
A 16. You don't think you're gonna get away with it. If you can try, but you don't think you will get away with it.
No, then forget it.
Okay, next day. Roll an investigation check with advantage.
This one's pretty good on the advantage. 21.
Yo, you easily spot a target. Some people moving through a crowd. You try to stealthily move up toward them.
23.
A 23. You are right in there. You are just right up against them. Now you just need to do your
Sleight of hand.
slice to try and get a hold of it.
16.
A 16.
Doesn't do it.
You feel as though just as you're starting to cut, it's like this small tug you're pulling on it, and they're like start to turn, and you can mold quickly back into the crowd, or you can continue. I mean, you've got it in your hand.
Is this my last day?
You got one more day.
And then I leave.
Okay, you leave. You quickly mold back into the crowd. You see him turning around, looking around. Okay, give me another investigation check. Last day. With advantage.
20.
Okay, you easily spot your last target. A very wealthy man.
Dirty 20.
A dirty 20.
stealth.
You just managed to deftly approach, and now you're
Dirty
up there.
21.
A 21, and you go up and you slice away at
Time
the
to get out of
packet.
town.
Huh?
Time to
You
get out of town.
Slice away at the packet. Roll me a D100, please.
I don't have a D100.
2D10.
2D10s?
Yes.
2D10s.
So one's your 10s, one's your 20s.
94.
94.
You find gems worth 940 gold, small gems, and you manage to pick two. You can take
Terrible
one
walking
from
around
each,
carrying that.
or two from either one. Does that make sense?
We're going to buy a house, and all of a
I
sudden
know.
they get there and the loan's gone.
Yeah, I know. Those poor people. They probably
The
have,
banker's missing all
probably have
their
8
money.
children at home that they were about to put into
Nice, exactly what I was looking for.
Sweet.
Potion of healing.
Mama, what's gonna happen to Tiny Tim? Nice. You can't get grabbed.
Oh, but we have the.
No,
Oh,
Oh,
sharpness.
your father got that advance. Oh.
Okay, that was the last day. Was there anything else anybody else wanted to do in town?
A couple of things. Wanted to spend some time looking over the sword using like detect magic or. what
You
have
detect magic on it, and it easily glows magic.
Oh, okay. And then just spending some general off time with it, just kind of seeing how it is, how it feels.
You see that it's very incredibly lightweight.
Please
it's just
be careful.
unusual.
It's a relic. It's going in. It's going in the warehouse for storage.
Okay. In that time period, I would effectively attempt to attune with it. If I
There's
can.
no such thing as attuning.
That's right. I forgot about that.
I know. I write stuff down. No one reads
You're
it
just
anyway.
claiming the sword. Just like that. You're just claiming the sword.
No one reads
I'm
it
seeing
anyway.
what it is. I
You're
was
claiming
gonna,
it?
I was gonna try to work in the kitchen for some extra money.
Okay, you easily find the slop gig, and you roll 2d6.
It's all.
I can cook.
It's all a
Sure,
secret
I
ploy
will.
so the Englishmen can poison all the
6.
French.
You make 6 gold for the week.
All right.
Okay. Anybody else doing anything? Cool.
Nope.
Okay.
We're going to that castle.
Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna start working our way
We're
there.
gonna head west.
Okay, you guys.
Southwest?
Hey.
Is that so? That's long rest? Is that?
Yes, you have completed a long rest. Oops, sorry about that.
Yeah, I got hit points.
You completed a long rest.
Nice.
Huzzah! Huzzah!
Oh, yeah. I love seeing all my spells back. Look at all those spells back.
All those empty boxes just waiting to be checked.
I know. I should change my spells.
Let's go pick
Oh,
a
that's
fight.
right, yeah.
Gosh. Yesterday, run away. Today, oh yeah.
Put them on.
Okay, okay. You guys start heading out of town, and you're heading. Just so I know for clarity, which way are you going?
We're going to the chateau.
Yeah, we're heading to the chateau.
The Chateau
de
Mall. Okay.
Because all of a sudden, squirrel.
Squirrel.
Okie doke. So you start heading out of town, and much as when you came into town, you leave the wealthy city behind you, crossing. This time you cross one of the bridges over to the what's called the West Bank, and you cross and you start heading west across what quickly become open fields, farm fields, fields where there have been harvested trees from it, and you see some grains, and very quickly you get into fields that are filled with gently rolling hills and covered with vines. This time of year, the vineyards are starting to grow the grapes, but they're certainly not ready for harvest just yet.
And we are traveling slightly west, right?
Yes, you are.
So along the way, we'll ask any questions about these mysterious gigantic frogs.
Yes, I'm looking for recipes.
Okay. C'est bon. This is good.
What happened to them?
I heard they came from Portugal.
What happened?
Maybe we run into Moses.
I think it's the right time period. Right? That sword might have been around then, though.
No, that's not that old. It's only 300 years old. It's like 800.
The frogs. You meet some passers-by. Oh, the frog legs, they are delicious. They've been the best that they have been in decades. Perhaps a millennium. Who knows? I don't know what a millennium is, but it is a long time. But they have been for a very, very good. What is the question about them? They are frogs.
Why are they so big?
I think they are well fed. You know, you feed them well, they get big.
Lots of rain, stuff grows, frogs get bigger.
What do you feed frogs to make them big?
Just wonder if there's any frogs running around with an animal.
I assume bugs. I assume. I don't know. I am not a frog farmer.
Okay.
But they all come from further west anyway.
West we go.
Probably feed them other frogs.
Huh?
You think they're cannibal frogs?
Yes.
That is terrifying.
All right. So we're joking about frogs on our journey.
100%.
So you travel a good solid day outside of Paris, and you start to come to you see a city on the horizon, and around the city there's some vineyards, and you do see some on top of some of these hills. You see a large chateaus. There's some wealth here associated with quickly assume, with the vineyards and the exporting of vineyards, perhaps with frogs as well. But a large produce, a lot of produce and wine and what have you distributed from this breadbasket of France, if you will. And you pass one of these gigantic chateaus up on a hill, and you see the city ahead of you, and the sun is starting to go down. In Tours. You're in Tours. Are you staying for the night, or are you pressing on?
We'll stay for the night.
You stay for the night.
When we press on, we get exhausted.
Want to get into,
Well, I can press on and on. So if I'm the
when
one
we
driving
get
the
there,
cart.
what exactly?
I'm English, I can press on and on, blah, blah, blah.
I couldn't understand. Yeah, I have no idea. Okay.
I'm hotter than you. I've heard it all before.
Never say anything about holiday.
So you quickly go into Tours, and you manage to find it's a fairly busy city. It's not as big as the city that you were just as big as Paris by any stretch of the imagination. It's relatively quieter, if you will. You go into the city, and you quickly come across a tavern. As you're there, you quickly come across, you see a tavern, Le Dragon d'Or.
Looks good as any.
As good as any.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a dragon in there.
Let's hope not. Well, we know how to deal with them.
We befriend them and get sending stones.
Yeah.
There you go.
Your pockets get more lumpy.
You go into the Dragon d'Or. Yes? No?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Okay. Outside, amidst the cobble streets, you find a facade. So there are wooden panels depicting knights battling mythical creatures. And hanging from the entrance is a weathered and chipped sign of a golden dragon, its wings outstretched. And the lantern flicks in the rapidly dwindling light outside of it. You go inside, and inside, it's a cozy place. It's not as cheerful as some other places you've been, but you smell a hearty stew, and the smell is very distinct, and you recognize it.
Frog legs.
Well, I mean, it is. You are in the region for it. So
In the frog belt.
you're in the frog belt, yes. Yeah, oui, c'est bon. Where is it here, Tom? There it is. Okay. And you go inside, and there's a young lady greets you, and she says, yes. You may come in. And
Okay. Is something wrong?
no, just I thought you were going to ask if you can come in. Yes, you can come in.
I mean, don't you want?
Is it okay if we come in?
Is that exactly what she looks like?
Yes.
I mean, don't you want people to come in? This is a tavern. Is it unusual for people to come in?
I push through.
Let me.
Look at your neck.
I'll get you some drinks, okay?
Oh.
Have a seat.
Okay. Sorry.
A few
that
minutes.
was really weird, right?
We just walked into Dust of Dawn.
I don't know.
I say to Kip in Celtic, you noticed her neck, right?
Aye.
What? What? She's got bite marks. Huh?
She's got bite marks on her neck.
Oh, she has bite marks.
The young woman comes over to you.
We're in it now, gentlemen.
She says, she looks at you, and young lady with straw hair, and even in the dim light of the tavern, her complexion looks kind of pale. And she says, what can I get for you?
What have you got to eat? And drink? frog legs?
Yes, I mean, it's very. There's a lot.
Do you have them like fried? Because we've had a lot of stew lately.
Sure, we can fry them.
Yeah. That'd be fine.
I will not be eating.
Okay.
With a little
I'm gonna
garlic.
make sure I
Oil-
make
oil
eye
and garlic?
contact with her.
Do you want something to drink?
Not at this moment.
Okay.
You always want like red wine.
port.
You want the red
I'm
wine?
not thirsty yet.
You're always thirsty.
Is there anybody else in the tavern?
There's a
Just
few
us?
people, yes.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just gonna keep a close watch on how she interacts with some of the other people.
She just seems, you watch her and she just seems a little bit like exhausted. And she's moving around the room and she quickly comes back a few minutes later with several large wooden plates and puts them down in front of you. And on some of them, and on all of them is some grilled, you guess, frog, and also a small cup of stew, except for yourself. And ale, beer, something else?
Yes. Ale, please. Your name, please.
Yeah, my name is Mordu.
Mordu.
Yes.
May I ask, what is the? We are here to see the master of the chateau. What do you have his name?
The chateau, the one right outside of town.
Aye.
I don't know his name, but that chateau's. It was just like appeared there. I mean, somebody must have built it very quickly. Nobody really was paying attention. And
People from the chateau don't come and visit your.
I think so. Yes. Yeah, they have come. There's normally this small kind of swarmy guy. He comes in every now and then. His name is Rogi, I think. Yeah, no, his name is Rogi. Yeah, I have Rogi, yeah.
Hi.
He's come in. He's very polite. He always asks to enter, and he's a very nice guy.
Do you know where we might find him? If we needed to seek him out, or should we just wait?
I don't know. I think he lives at the chateau. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't get the impression like he's in charge or anything like that.
He just might know who is. That's all.
Maybe. I don't know.
I'll flip her a gold piece.
Oh,
and
that's
just say,
very generous
Thank you
of
so
you.
much. Ales would be great for us.
Yes, okay.
If I may.
Yes.
How many days has it been since you've been having the dreams?
I do have weird dreams. I don't know. I mean, it's kind of blurry.
How many days would you say has it been since the first dream?
Maybe 2? I don't know. I lose track of time. 2, maybe 3. It could have been 4.
Okay.
I don't know. I've just been very tired lately. I think I might be just a little.
You reside
underworked.
here at the tavern?
Yes, I do. I live here in the inn.
I'm gonna reach into my bag. I'm gonna pull out some garlic. It still has some of the flour on it, and some salt, and a cross. Place this on your windows tonight.
Oh, okay.
And you will sleep.
I have a cross.
Place
garlic?
Place these garlic on the windows and by the door.
Okay.
And keep this cross, close to your heart as you sleep.
Okay.
And let us see if the dreams go away.
That's very nice of you. What is your name?
I am the Baron.
You look familiar. I don't know where I've seen you before, but you look like somebody I might have met. Have you been here
that
before?
sort of face.
In these parts, I'm sure it's common.
It is very possible that we have met at some point.
Oh, okay. I have to get back to work.
Yes, please, do not forget.
I won't. She puts it in her apron. Thank you. That's very nice of you. And she goes back. You see her working the tables around the rooms.
Baron. And I'll say it hushed, but does everybody who's bitten turn, or do they just use some to feed?
Generally, they will
feed, but they will not.
Like a thrall.
But they will not continue to feed on the same victim. When the dreams start, that generally means that they have chosen that victim to be changed at some point.
But they feed and then at some point they turn? Or, like, is she going to turn? Or is it still time?
If she has continued to be feed upon, she will be drained to the moment of almost death.
But then if she feeds?
And then in the last moments, as part of the dreams, the fever that occurs, she will be given the choice to feed, to restore life. And if that happens, then she will turn. Over
sad.
time, it will kill her, and then she will die. She will die, and then she will be reborn.
Well, then your garg and your cross is not really a solution. It is a band-aid. She must leave this place.
It is to prevent the vampire from entering her abode.
Aye, but
to feed.
Wait, are we in trouble here?
I think we are.
Because, do you have any extra garlic and a cross?
Yes, we are okay. We will be fine.
Okay.
It is the vampires, they will feed on the weak, the lonely, the young. They will not seek to change one of us. It would be too dangerous for them. So, if we can prevent for this young lady, if we could prevent no more further feedings, then she may be able to recover.
I want to kind of like walk and look around and see if I see anybody else that might have marks on their neck.
You may have something that was given to you that would be useful in this situation. I believe you were gifted something. From what you've told me.
The necklace?
Yes.
Still don't know exactly what that does, but it helps me see invisibility, right?
This is true. The vampires have the capabilities of hiding themselves.
I see.
They are not spirits.
Aye.
They are not dead. They are not living. They are in between.
Yeah. I mean, I could put on Boren's necklace, sure. I don't know if it's gonna work, but you know, so I'll pull out the bear claw necklace and just kind of
see through the lens.
Put it on. Kind of look around the room, and just see if there's anything that maybe wasn't there before.
You glance around the room and you see Naldo kind of like skulking here and there, carefully. But give me a stealth check while you're at it.
But was he there before?
And was he there before? I don't know. But you don't see any. 22, and you are like moving deftly through the crowd, and nobody notices you looking around.
Cheers!
But you don't notice anything like. But you remember seeing, or somebody remembers seeing Argrad's thralls hanging in the rafters.
That's what I was asking about the thralls.
And, with him and so forth. But you don't see anything like that.
I was wondering. Okay, got it.
It may not be here in the town with us.
Nothing.
Could be
nothing here that I can tell. But
keep it close.
Okay, I'll just keep it on.
We could investigate the chateau tonight.
Is it wise to go at night?
We could investigate in the morning, when the sunlight is out. The vampire should be sleeping.
Perhaps. It's probably dark inside the house.
Yes.
Okay.
We shall wait here to see if he appears.
Okay, yes. We'll look for this roguey. But when we do get to the chateau, I don't know who we're asking for specifically. I just know that we've got some questions we want some answers to, but I don't know how to
there will
pursue
most
those
likely be a
questions.
familiar who
is in service to the vampire.
I don't know that this chateau is the same one, the same place. Is this the same place that we're heading to?
No.
Yeah,
This
I
is the
didn't-
town before, I believe, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is the town before.
like this place,
That's
right?
like
Yeah,
this
yeah,
place.
yeah.
The town
Exactly.
before.
So, yeah.
Yeah. It would be a familiar. We could perhaps we can ask to speak to the master of the house.
Yeah, that's the names is probably a good place to start. Yeah. Okay.
If there is any suspicion, we shall just take the house by storm, and we will kill him in his resting place.
Sounds like a plan. I like it.
All right.
Sure. If there is a vampire, he must die. There is no question.
Bite into a frog leg.
If you pull, put your fork. and you
But sometimes
pull,
when you pull, the fried comes right off, and the frog leg is just there. You know.
it eliminates the bones. The bones they get caught in your digestion.
It's like one of those cheese sticks without the cheese in the middle of it. It's like you gypped.
Give me a pizza with nothing.
Mordu comes back over. Is there anything else I can get for you? We're going to be closing up fairly soon for the night. Are you staying the night?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, 5 rooms? Be all right?
Sure. Sure.
And okay.
I'm sleeping with Nalda.
15 gold should cover the 5 rooms and the meal.
For all of us. I got it tonight, gentlemen.
Okay. So I know she recognized the Baron, but do I recognize her at all?
She said that you looked familiar.
Right. Okay.
But she
Got it.
didn't say she recognized you. She
Okay.
said you looked familiar.
Right. Okay.
Your other most wanted posters.
No, I think I have a similar complexion to what's feeding on her.
You ponder, and no, she's,
I'm guessing it's in her dreams that she's seeing.
This man wanted.
You don't recognize her. I mean, just running
right.
through the myriad of people you've seen, and you don't recognize her.
Okay.
No. Okay. You guys, the place slowly quiets down.
There's garlic on my windowsill. And salt.
Okay.
on my
enough for
windowsill.
everybody?
Yeah, he made little gift packets.
She goes off to her room. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the tavern slowly goes quiet. Some of the candles go out. Do you retreat to your respective rooms?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Okay. And you note that she goes downstairs to her room off of the kitchen. Okay.
Downstairs.
Yeah, well,
What
there's
if we
Where the
laid a
crypt,
trap
where the crypt
That's
is.
what I was thinking.
and didn't line one of the windows with garlic?
Exactly.
All right.
Proof's
Proof's
room.
That sounds like a plan to me.
Proof's room. We will lie in wait.
She's like, can I have some garlic?
Yeah,
man,
garlic.
please?
Wow, we're
Just
fresh
give me
out.
Just give me some garlic.
So I will go around to the rooms and any of the rooms, and I will put
So
the
the 5
dressings.
are your rooms. You're not going around to other people's rooms.
Well,
I mean, you
how
tell
many-
me.
Okay, well,
only works if you.
how many
I
rooms?
guess you
how
could
many
climb
rooms
up
would be?
around outside. And
Can you not sprinkle it around
How
the
many
building?
rooms? Is it super occupied? Is it?
I do not believe
say
in
there's
this
a-
mumbo jumbo. I do not need this on my windowsill.
A total of
Ridiculous.
17 rooms. You guys
okay.
have 5.
Yeah, never mind. I'm not gonna be able to do it for
It's
everybody.
fine.
Can you do it around the building?
Guys, I need some of that garlic.
That's a
No, we-
lot of garlic.
That's
And
a lot.
salt. We don't have that
Okay,
much salt. Salt is like a
scratch that
very
one.
precious commodity in
Yeah,
this time
stop
industry.
taking my salt.
I'll take
Taking
it.
salt out of my
Yeah.
wagon.
Okay. Well.
Yeah, that's not gonna work. It's just too big a space. But I'll make sure that at least the downstairs room, the girls' room, is.
Well, it's downstairs. We can camp out outside the window.
Yeah. Well, what I'm thinking is that when it
'Cause that's not
finds out that her room is impenetrable, it's gonna try another route in.
Mm-hmm.
So,
No, keep watching.
well, I'm trying to think if I have a good way of.
If anybody would, it would be you,
So-
vampire catcher.
Yes, I'm listening.
So I suggest to everybody, if you'd like, I can try to sneak into her room and sit somewhere in the darkness. And if he comes, I make a lot of noise. I'll alert you all.
I mean, I've heard there are people that can cast spells that create an alarm in their head, but this might be a good alternative.
I don't have any of that.
Yeah.
Let's try it.
I have. Listen, I have also the only other thing. If you want, I do have some string and bell on me. We can set up a trap that way.
I mean,
but if not, I can sneak into a room. I'm sure she's not going to notice once you sleep.
I mean, if
And I can just sit there in the
She
shadows.
either puts the stuff up on the window ledge or she doesn't, and I think, don't necessarily mean that you have to go into the room. That's a little creepy, but outside the room might be good.
What if he comes in another way?
There'd be a window and a door, right? But if you're by the window...
Baron, is there any? Can he go through floors? Or?
No, he would have to have entrance to the room.
Okay.
And he will most likely be in another form. He will most likely be in some other shape-shifting of a form, perhaps, before he enters into the room.
Can he be? Will he have to be human, or can he be like a cat?
I do not know this particular vampire. It could be many different things.
So if it's a cat, maybe whatever. If you guys want me to sit in the room, I'm more than glad to go in there. And I'll alert you as long as you come running in fast.
I think if we stay outside the room, it might.
I'm a pretty heavy sleeper.
Might be better.
I mean, I could.
There's no heavy sleep.
You're
You're standing guard.
outside.
Let's
the
say a
room.
guard.
The thing is,
I'm setting up a trap.
Our sense is
No,
beyond our
Yes.
knowledge.
No.
So if
Yes.
somebody is in the room,
Let me borrow your sword at least.
he will know.
I mean, I could set up like
The
Koa
saber.
outside the room.
At least give me some protection. All I have is this
Now,
rapier.
together, because like Koa is
Second
a
hand.
wolf. And some of these vampires have control over the wolves.
But he's not real.
I do not know the extent of their powers. I'm just saying to be mindful of,
We should probably kill
of their
him just to be
capabilities.
Yeah, we have killed him enough.
I think we stay outside the room and just be aware. We will sleep with one eye open.
Okay.
I'm going to sleep with both eyes closed in my room.
Okay.
How's that sound?
Yes. So be it.
Good.
Okay.
Very tired.
Okay.
So where is the Baron?
So you said she's downstairs.
Yes, I did. And your rooms are upstairs.
My room. I'm not going to be in my room. I'm going to be downstairs in the tavern.
Okay. You're downstairs in the tavern.
In like a corner somewhere, like in a chair, or just,
Okay. Where is Edric?
Probably in the opposite corner. Or
Okay, you
nearby.
guys are in the common area on opposite corners. It's,
I will take my bed and I will put my pillows in and put a blanket
Okay.
over it and
You want me to go in the
make it
room?
look like. No, I do not think it would be good because I'm afraid that the vampire will pick up the extra presence in the room and may see it as a trap. This way we look like just commoners, we are just traveling through, sleeping.
But sleeping, but you're sitting in the. You're hiding in a corner of the.
I'm just gonna, have like a drink. I'm just gonna like find like one of the corner tables or something.
But isn't it? But wait, wouldn't it
look
be
like I've passed out or just fell asleep?
Wouldn't he
at the
be
table?
suspicious since the place is closed?
Well, does the common area still empty? Or is it still
it's
like...
pretty much empty. There might be a few people. There are some people who don't get rooms who sleep in the common area. That's not atypical.
Just kind of like looking like a drunk. Just
got it. Okay.
Yeah, just trying to blend in.
Okay. So
people sleeping on tables.
I'll do the same.
Okay. So the three of you, where are you?
I'll stay in the common area as well.
Okay.
I go to Kip's. What's up with Naldo? Why are you here?
Naldo just needs his beauty rest.
Where is Naldo?
Naldo's in his room.
And Naldo is in his room.
Well, if he gets bit.
Okay.
But I'm on the edge of my bed, just still awake, just looking at my
Scrolling through your phone.
my ruined hand.
Oh, it's
But
not
isn't
ruined
it-
now. I
wait.
put plenty of cells on it over the past week.
Don't you have full rest? Okay.
I don't think so. I don't think it's healed after that. Pretty gnarly looking. Some bone and sinew.
You guys.
Is that the hand jerk?
No, that's the hand I grabbed the metal, the flaming metal cart with that melted my hand and destroyed everything.
Is that the sword hand?
He's ambidextrous.
I can use both hands.
So then okay, that's fine.
Yeah, put the shield on his because
Then
that's what I said.
It's no big loss.
It's not your
As
hand.
long as it's not the sword.
It's not your hand. It's not your hand.
What movie was that? Scary movie?
Yeah.
Remember that?
Two.
Grab the little hand. It's my strong hand.
So in the common room, eventually, Kip will probably meander upstairs to get his 4 hours as well.
Okay. Well, a couple hours go by.
Okay.
Batman. A couple hours go by, and you all three are outside the door, or in the common area, rather, and who's closest to her door, would you guess?
Where would you say her door would be?
Let's just say right over in this area.
So
Yeah, somewhere
probably
right
be
over-
the Baron because
yeah,
he said
right
he was
here.
going to be.
Okay, so you're somewhere over here.
Well-
You're upstairs. You're somewhere
I'm gonna
over
put myself
here.
in this corner.
So that would have been. So then it would be me actually.
With a heavy crossbow underneath the table, with a wooden stake loaded in it.
Is that the like Cole be laying in front of the fireplace?
Baron shot
So
first.
so I'm the one that's closest to her door.
Okay. As a couple hours go by, you're groggily going in and out of sleep. And her door opens.
Do we hear it open?
Yeah, I guess you hear it open. I mean, you've been kind of attuned, pardon the expression, to listen for it. So I'm gonna say, yeah, you probably hear it open from the inside here, and you see a figure start to emerge.
Coming in or coming out?
Coming out of her door.
Does it hurt?
You glance over, and yes, it is her. And she seems to be walking straight toward the exit.
Okay.
Get up and start following.
Well, when she exits, I'm trying to follow.
I run upstairs to wake up Knucklehead.
You quickly dart upstairs.
What was her name?
She's not moving quickly.
Mordeaux.
What is it?
She's walking out of the tavern. Let's go. Let's go.
Fine. We'll be down in a minute.
Come on, Kip. She's walking out. She's going somewhere. No one's coming. We gotta go.
Yeah, I'm downstairs.
The Baron went after her.
She walks outside. How far back are you following her? About?
She's probably moving pretty slowly.
Yeah, she
like
is.
sleepwalking almost, it would look
Yes.
like. Yeah, so we
About
probably
60 feet at
stay
least.
back, yeah.
She's probably
50, 60
moving
feet.
about half. She's not moving very quickly.
Yeah, so what, about 60, 60 feet behind?
The Baron would know that she's under a trance.
I'm sorry?
The Baron would probably
Okay, fine.
know that
20,
she's under a
30
trance.
feet. We're behind.
Trance. She
We're on an
definitely doesn't look. I mean, to the extent that
It's
you
as
can
if she's sleepwalking.
I don't want to be hit by
I don't know if
cantrips.
sleepwalking is the right term.
Short bows.
I don't know
wanna
if
be within
sleepwalking is quite the term, but
Do you have your wood piece?
Okay.
The wood stake?
I have a stake.
That's out in the cart. Georgie's garden.
you follow her for a little while.
Are you gonna
She
kill the
walks
vampire?
for a little bit.
That's his job.
To kill vampire?
Yeah, he's the vampire killer.
Oh.
And you see her
What do we do?
continue straight up toward this mansion right outside of town.
We will follow her.
And we will pause there.
I will look at Kip and I'll say, or I'll look who's with me.
I'm with you.
But she has been turned. It is too late.
Kill them all.
Hold on, I'm coming.
Guys having a good time?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Oh, awesome stuff. Totally. What's the line DMs always say, Mark?
Yeah, never do what I thought you were going to do.
guys always surprise me.
Yeah, we're all gonna write adventure logs saying we're going to certain places, and then we don't.
I think I did what I said in my adventure log.
Oh, I didn't say that.
You said we were going to the Chateau de Chateau?
No.
There's no way.
No,
That wasn't
I was
even-
gonna check out the sword, buy some healer's kits, and we would go to Paris.
I've never heard of the Chateau until tonight.
I was following you guys, calling you guys
Kip has.
fools.
Yeah.
For messing with Ghazi.
Keep calling us fools. We are.
Yeah, I mean that's the number one adventurer party thing. You kind of got to be an idiot to go along and do all this stuff.
Why do you say that?
No, I mean, just saying how crazy it is.
Okay, going around the room, Brian, what was your highlight, sir?
Wow, there was a lot of information that we kind of like gathered tonight. There's a lot of reminders, a lot of the history stuff. I thought it was really cool to like start placing some of the pieces together. I had a great time like RPing with Mark and having that conversation. It's a conversation I've wanted to try to have with him for a while. So I was trying to help kind of go in that direction with it. I mean, I guess those are my highlights. I mean, but other than the fact that we're finally getting into some vampire slaying. Baron the Vampire Slayer. I love it. That's awesome. I like how you're setting it up. It's cool.
I like the conversation. It's always great. The conversation between you and Mark, and obviously the conversation between Mark and all the work. All of it is epic stuff. But I really loved that you were dropping like little nuggets, and I don't know if you were intentionally doing it about your dead wife and the amulet and her soul in the amulet or something about her in the amulet. I love that stuff. I mean, you and I had spoken in the chat, and you said, "Hey, do you mind if I go out on a limb?" You didn't tell me where you were going to go, and I'm like, "Yeah, I mean, do it, dude. You know, I mean, communicate."
Yeah.
I mean, but you gave me a lot of really cool stuff there, but you left it open-ended enough. That I can. You didn't say, "Hey, you know, there's this dead body in my amulet that gives me the ability to read minds and makes me +3 on 4 attacks a day." You just gave me like a nugget, and that it can expand upon it or not, as you desire and as we kind of play with it. So I thought that was wickedly cool, and I do appreciate.
And
that
you guys
kind
got
of
a somewhat age on the Baron.
Yes, 125-ish years plus whatever.
Plus
how old
30
you were at that time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
55 years old.
I think you were. I had you at 119 experience points last time. 3,000. That should be a solid ding, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. Huh?
Absolutely. The Baron's older than Kip.
Yeah.
Nice.
Is he really?
Yeah.
So I'm doing this. Okay. Okay.
My age is actually different because we've been campaigning for 7 years.
Remember, we all gained a lot of age when we grabbed the staff.
And then when we read the book,
The book, not the staff.
That's true.
When we read the book, we all gathered.
That's right.
Some of you went up a lot. Some of you went up a
I
couple.
haven't really aged much.
I gained
went up
17
13 years.
I went up 17 years.
I went up 13.
I went from like 28 to like 45.
Now you're more mature.
Yeah.
Think of it. Did your brain also age? Anyway, Nick, did you have a good time?
I had a great time.
What was your highlight?
It had to be the role play between these two.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
You guys are always have like the best conversations, and the Baron and Kip going back and forth with the life and death and the afterlife and all of that is just awesome every time.
It was. Thank you for the adventure logs. You know, all of everybody's adventure log was just kind of, they were all intertwined and they were all very cool, but at the same time they were all going in different directions. And I walked away from it going, what?
Why do I ask for these things?
No, I love it. No, I didn't ask. That was never crossed my mind once. That did not cross my mind once. One time. So thank you. Everybody gave me an adventure log tonight, and I did that. Include that in the amount here. 5,000 experience points. I think you recently popped. That should put you at about 59, I believe. 59.
That would be correct.
Okay, awesome. Mark, did you have a good time?
Yeah, absolutely.
What was your highlight?
There was a lot. Kind of reaching back, getting a little bit more of the lore, which I really appreciated, and of course how quickly you were actually able to pull that stuff back out.
I actually don't feel as though I was quickly able to pull
No,
it
it was
up.
Tom. That was from 6 or 7 years ago, and you pulled it out in less than 5 minutes.
And it came out of
I know 5 minutes may feel like an eternity because
it feels
we're
like
playing,
an eternity
but,
to me. But
you're pulling something out from forever ago.
That's what amazes me. And you knew where your book was.
Yeah,
I would have been like, I don't know where my book is.
Honestly, if that had been me, I'd have been like, we're gonna get back to you on that.
Exactly.
So it was just impressive there, and then to pick up, like I can almost imagine like that was something maybe you had prepared that long ago, and you looked at your notes and you just went with it, and whether you made stuff up or you went with it, it was seamless. We couldn't tell. I couldn't tell. It was that was really cool. Obviously, I love the exchanges. Getting different role play opportunities for Kip to play some stuff out. I'm really excited to see where this goes with being able to talk about spirits and things like that, because I mean that's entwined into Kip's backstory, and I probably don't lean into it enough, so that's pretty cool.
I don't know. I think you lean in. I'm not trying to discourage you from leaning in more. I mean, I think you lean in fantastically. You honestly, you do. I mean, incredible. So, either way, where are we here, Tom? Why is that? No, that's not right. It can't be right. Mark, yes, you are level 14, correct?
Yes, sir.
Oh, that's why. Okay, you're level 14, 2,000, because you're one of the highest guys at the table. That's why. 2,000, because you don't have Baldur nor Mattias here. 2,000 experience points. I think you're at 149. You got like 160, 149.5
is what I.
Yeah, so you got like a little ways to go.
Yep,
I believe. James, did you have a good time?
Amazing.
What was your highlight?
It was a lot. I mean, I love the, of your storytelling and just come up with this stuff, and I'm like thinking, does he have these things written down, or he just come up with this nonsense and all this stuff in his head just on the spot of the moment? It's amazing. All these names you come up with and everything like that. I'm like, that's incredible. And then these guys role playing. The only thing I was thinking about, hope they didn't come to me for some reason, because I have nothing. I mean, these guys have all these great stories, and I feel like I have nothing.
Well,
I
don't know if that's true. I mean, they also have a history with their characters.
Right.
Yeah, so I mean, it's what you make of it. But you don't. There's no right way to role play, and there's no wrong way to role play.
But they're so in depth. You know what I mean? It's almost like it's actually them. It's not their character. Like it's their emotion. So that's the thing. I'm like,
I think you'd surprise it. You'd surprise yourself. You'd step up to the plate. I think you would.
We'll find out next time.
Yeah,
I had like a short conversation with Tom, and we were kind of talking a little bit about this, and it's the fact that we're building relationships. Our characters are building relationships with other characters, and when you start to kind of allow that to happen, right? It starts to, like, these opportunities start to kind of arise, like whether they're positive relationships or negative relationships. Like my old character Borin sometimes had a negative relationship with Mattias, and we would kind of do this bickering back and forth, and as long as we kept it in character, it worked, and there was still like a real relationship.
It was
there.
like 95% of the time, 5% of the time, it got out of hand.
Right, but like it created the moments almost create themselves. Like my conversation with Mark, it's like we don't have it scripted out. He didn't know I was gonna.
Well, that's the thing. Not to minimize you, I'm sure that you thought about this over the past week or what you're going to say to him. He was on the spot of the moment. It was like, wow, he just came up with all this stuff on the spot of the moment kind of situation, versus you had a chance to think about it. It was great, but I'm like, I'm like, I don't know if I can just come up on this.
I think you could.
Spot of the moment. This like
my point is as you
in-depth
develop
story.
the character relationships, you start being able to just kind of come up because it's your character. Like you start to know you start to know how your character would feel about something, and you just kind of come up with it on the spot.
Yeah,
So that's what I'm amazed about.
I'm going to read something that I wrote to you, if you don't mind, to them.
Yeah, no.
So because I think it dovetails in here. He had asked me a question if he could do something, and I said, basically, you know, if you believe it in your character's mind, then I'm gonna go with it. You know, whether or not something happens mechanically, then we'll worry about that later. But in terms of what you believe in your character's mind, you come up with that. You as the player come up with that. I'm not gonna. I try never. I've made mistakes, but I try never tell a player what they're thinking or what they're feeling. I'll tell you what you see, smell, hear. But I'll try to let you decide what. So I said to him, please indulge me here. And he was talking about the relationships between some characters, and how he wanted to expand upon it. And I said, I think friendships are sometimes relationships that defy logic. Rarely are they objective oriented like relationships between business associates. It may not be clear what brought friends together or what keeps them together. So I humbly think it's okay if the reason they are together is somewhat nebulous. It only becomes a problem when a player starts asking, why would my character do this? When that happens, it's up to the player to figure it out. I will help them, but it's the player's responsibility. So I think that what I was getting at there is that you can be as if you can imagine it, it's probably great. I mean, if that makes sense.
No, what I'm saying to you is just coming up with this stuff like you and these guys come up with this stuff on a spot of the moment, and to me, it's not, and it feels very not generalized. It's very in depth, very specific characters, and I'm actually a little bit amazed and overwhelmed, intimidated. Because I'm like, I don't know if I can come up with it. Like he said, he's going to do it next week. My character just say, no big deal, walk away. You know.
So I'll tell you now, and we'll do it at the beginning of the next session. I'm going to ask everybody, as I periodically have done, as if you're sitting around a campfire, tell a secret about your character to everyone else. So you can use these 2 weeks
put
to
me on the
sit
spot now.
Well, but I'm giving you 2
everything.
weeks, dude. And so it's a chance to look back and say, well, you don't have to. You can pass. I mean, Rhino passed. I mean, and here's a guy who role plays. I think he's a hell of a role player. If we can pry him away from his computer, I think he's a great role player. But it's an opportunity to dig deep in yourself and come up with, hey, what is that past? Because that, not to get all therapy-like, but that does color your present.
Sure.
So, obviously, your past, your character's past, very distinctly, as does hers. I'm not really sure where Naldo's is. I kind of know. I know where yours is. Whether or not that's repairable, having abandoned your wife and kid. But whether or not it's repairable is another question. But but still.
Well, for their safety.
Yeah. Okay. There you go. For their safety. I've been taking too long on this. But all good stuff. James, 4,000 experience points. You were at 64. I think you got 85 as your next, so you got a little ways to go. Naldo, Jess, did you have a good time?
I had a fabulous time.
I would like to just mention one thing about the role playing. I think that a big part of it is being comfortable with the people that are at the table.
Oh yeah,
1,000%.
Because I see how far I've come with role playing since I started playing and how nervous I was when I started playing to put myself out there and engage in stuff, and it all comes with not we're all grown men acting like 8-year-olds, and it's fabulous.
Or acting like grown men.
Yeah, but it's like it's like that comfortability level that nobody's gonna give you shit for it, and you're gonna have a good time, and that's a big part of it. I had a great night. My highlight was coming down here and seeing a map all covered up with felt,
which we didn't get to, but that's cool.
I think we might be approaching it, so
feel like
so I have hopes.
I was actually worried. I'm glad nobody tried to lift the map. I was a little worried that if you
Oh,
lifted
that
the
they
map,
shifted.
then
It's all a little messed up.
I was going to say to whoever tried it, just leave it there.
I still can't get over this map, though.
I know.
Tom.
It's
Every
gorgeous.
time I look at this map, it's like there's something on there. I'm like, oh my god, I remember it. Like this map is fantastic. This is Huh?
I remember
Tom.
correctly.
Well,
I wanted. I'm not trying to. Thank you. I wanted it to be. I didn't want like this GPS generated map that where everyone knows everything. Sure, we know. What's nice about being human in the real world and playing in the real world is, we know basically where it is. But if I ask, I'm not going to play geography test with you to point out the different. I bet you a lot of people, you might have challenges pointing out where. If I said to you where this X city is or Y city, and I think that's realistic, but you've heard of it, and I think that's the way your characters would. Versus most D&D games, well, you've got a map. Where's that city? Oh, here it is. It's on hex alpha 17. And I'm like, I just don't. I like the idea that we know it's in that direction.
Yeah.
To me, I think that, and I wanted it to be more your journey, and I think we successfully did that.
Yeah, you killed
but
it.
it does need some updating. But
These are the landmarks.
But
the battles.
But Jess, what was you told me what your highlight was. A great interaction with Mark.
Yeah, I really like being the like counterpoint, and Naldo being the counterpoint of like optimism. And
I love that.
And everything else.
I think
it plays off everybody really well.
I really liked Zyman. I thought Zyman was a cool character. I thought he was also mechanically cool. I actually think you are leaning much greater into roleplay on this character than you were with Zyman.
Yeah.
And,
and you're consistent.
And for me, I mean, if you had gone from being Naldo with Zyman's personality to Zyman with Naldo's, I would have been, I was fine with it either way, but I love the fact that you're wickedly leaning into this, and I think that's awesome. By the way, I hope everybody saw Kroof's, James's new intro in the at the beginning there, and just 3,000 experience. I think you're at 17,150, right?
No, you told me I was at 119,500. In
Yeah.
the thing.
You should ding.
Yeah, you'll pop.
Either way, okay.
So how much more?
Ding. Either way, 3,000. 3,000. 119. What was it?
119,500.
119,500. So yeah, 3,000 more on top of that. So ding, you made level 13. Level 13. So who popped tonight? You made 13. Ooh.
Nice.
And you made you
hit 13.
I hit 13.
You hit 13. You hit 13. So I mean, people, the system does work. Everybody's slowly in that shot group. I know you're a little behind, but everybody's coming up fairly quickly. Guys, I had a good time. I really had no idea where you were going to go, and I wanted to throw some other elements in there. All cool. Please, especially for you guys who change your characters, send me your character updates, things that you change with regards to your character. I know you guys love D&D Beyond. I give a special thank you. I'm going to give you another one to James. James, thank you for old school James. Gave me an old school character sheet that my brain could easily process. When you grow up on pen, I was talking to you today. The first time I really used a computer, I was 30 years old. So my brain does not you guys look at it and you're like, duh, why don't you understand what it's telling me?
I think you could download it and send you the file, which is old school. If that's what you prefer, I could do that.
I prefer that, but
but I send you the link. If you look at the link, you can
roll
view it as PDF.
I'd never been able
we could
to
just
see
download it as
Either
PDF
way,
and send
guys,
it to
I
you.
do appreciate it. Awesome stuff. We went wickedly late here because I wanted to get you to a point at which something was going to happen next session. I thought today was cool, but I think we walked into today going, where is this going? Other than a quick long rest, I was like, I wanted to have some idea that you were, because if you had said, you could have said, Vampire Mansion, we're going that way. And at least I would know what you're doing, But now you could still say, "Hey, chick, you're on your own." But
going to Vampire
okay, Guys, thank you very, very much. The computer here died on me during the thing, and I had to restart it. So, thank you for watching Seven-Sided Die's Carpathian Adventure. Again, we have to thank Sirenscape for the use of their audio sound effects. That's www.syrinscape.com. Thank you to Yenu and Suki Noir for the terrific character art. Please patronize them by the @Yenu and draws on Instagram, @Yenu on Tumblr and Twitter, and patronize Suki Noir on DeviantArt. She did a couple new figures here for me coming up that I thought we were going to get to tonight. But please comment in the Twitch chat room, on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, and on YouTube while we do this strictly for fun. Please let us know how we might improve the stream. Lastly, please follow on Twitch and Instagram. Please like on Facebook and YouTube, and please subscribe. Always remember, in the Carpathian Adventure, the journey is the destination, and we will continue the journey in 2 weeks. So for now, thank you for watching. Roll a 7-sided die, and have a good night.
Play some Dungeons and Dragons! Dungeons and Dragons!